wake up and let the weirdness begin. It's the KVJ Show to start your morning. Kevin is the host, and his skin pigment is whiter than Casper the Ghost. Virginia sounds like this. Nickname Vicious Beast, so don't get her pissed. It's Jason, talks like a spaz, and he loves to talk about Bigfoot and stats. So get ready, here we go. You're listening to 97.9 with the KVJ Show.
It is the KVJ Show on WRMF. Good morning, everybody.
Ooh, boy, that microphone's still giving you fits over there, I see.
Should I tell what happened?
I think we did, but for the people who don't know.
So we greased it up with WD-40, and imagine that. I went too hard with my greasing, and now the microphone will never stay down.
But people really believe in that WD-40? Is that what it is?
I saw somebody I know, it's on TikTok, and y'all give me crap for watching too much TikTok, but there's this guy on TikTok, his name is Gator, and he gives you all these life hack tips. And Gator said, take WD-40 and spray it all around your windowsill, all around where the threshold of your door is on the outside. And you'll never get all those bugs. You know how we always get all those bugs in South Florida, like all over your window? Gator said WD-40 will get rid of that.
It works, man.
It's greasy. It's slick.
I'm not really a man, so I didn't know about this stuff, but it's really a mechanical butter.
Yes, it fixes a lot.
Lubes that thing right up there.
It's KY for your work stuff.
It is. It's a little early for KY talk.
Sorry.
Well, people are going to want to know where the Kevin Ralston is.
The Kevin Ralston is probably heading to the airport soon. He's going up to Chicago to represent the show at some big meeting with like all the suits and all the important people. And imagine that. We didn't get the invite.
I didn't see mine.
I was thinking about Kevin last night, lying in bed. No,
pantsless.
I was thinking about what that's got to be a little nerve-wracking to go up there, and then you got to give a presentation to all of the big people in our company.
Well, and one of the guys that's helping him put it together told him, "Oh wow, the last guy that did this really brought the room down. Everybody loved that guy's presentation." So now Kevin's got it in his head that he's got to be at least as good as the last guy, if not better. And it's a lot of pressure.
It's a lot of hype to tell somebody, "Oh man, the last guy crushed it."
The last guy killed. There wasn't a dry eye in the house. Like, he just killed.
All right, go out there and kill it.
He went over his bullet points. We all loved him.
Yep, it sounded good.
He's prepared. If there's one thing the Kevin Ralston is, he's prepared.
He's prepared. I just hope he remembers to be human and conversational.
He
can't be a robot up there.
He's probably listening right now, and I think what he needs is a Braveheart-type speech from our motivational speaker, Dennys.
Yes.
Give it to him right now.
Dennys, the floor is yours.
Kevin, you're going to command the room when you go out there. It's not going to be, hey guys, this is prep. It's going to be a human version of Kevin, inspiring, instilling hope in the radio industry, spreading the knowledge we've gained, and that type of thing, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know how long this has to be.
Kevin, freedom!
And that's our TED Talk.
Yes. That's our TED Talk. Well, Kevin, if you are listening, you're going to crush it. You're going to nail it.
You are going to crush it. Positive thinking. That's powerful stuff.
I was going to say, let's call him live on the air and wish him luck, but I think that might clank him. Let's let the man. Let's let the man.
I don't think he wants to hear from us.
And he never answers.
That's why we didn't get the invite.
I just texted him. He did answer. He did answer because it was about the show. I'm like, what are we doing about this?
You ask him a question, just put for the show at the end. He'll answer.
Yeah. So that's where Kevin is. But you got the VJ. Is that what we call it? The VJD?
VJD.
No matter what we do, it always sounds like an STD.
It is. We got some cream for that.
Hopefully.
What are you thinking about? What are you thinking about? What's on your mind? Are you thinking about? What are you thinking about?
Well, what I got on my mind is that we've got a new song that has dropped, Virginia.
Yeah? Who?
Suits, if you don't mind, can we do a KVJ poll for the people who are up? Is there any way this song is going to be good? Now, I haven't listened to it yet. Corey Feldman has dropped a new song, and it's about his love with his relationship.
Oh boy.
Yes. Is there any way this thing is good, and how long can we play it until we have to back out?
And will we give it points for awesomely awful, which he does put out?
Let's keep an open mind. Dennys, how would you describe Corey Feldman to a youngster who has no idea what we're talking about?
Corey Feldman, the man or the musician?
The whole thing, man. How would you describe that? Just somebody who has no idea what we're talking about.
I would say Corey Feldman was a very prolific 80s actor, kid actor, that kind of paved the way for future kid actors. He went through a lot of the stuff that future kid actors went through, but he was in iconic movies, great actor, and then all of a sudden he dropped acting and went completely into music. And I don't know if he's as good of a musician as he is an actor.
I think you do know the answer to that.
I find it such an odd transition, too.
Denny's trying to be nice.
He's trying to be nice. All right, here's a taste of Corey Feldman's new song.
I won't let nothing take you away. I promise you, I'm gonna be loving you for eternity. I'm in for you, no matter what you're going through. I promise you, if there's a storm, I'll be the one keeping you warm. 'Cause baby, it's true, there is no me without you. My world.
All right.
Virginia, let's get your opinion first, because some of the comments I'm reading right now, they're not favorable.
Why didn't they mic him up?
Yeah, he's
Why
like,
does it sound like he's off mic?
he's like 4 feet back from the microphone.
Okay.
So that might not be his fault. That's whoever mic'd him or is mixing it.
That's not his fault. No, it's a produced piece. That's not live.
To be fair, his last song, he kind of sounded off mic as well. I don't
What
know if
the
that's
hell?
a technique of his.
What the hell? Why would you stand 4 feet from the microphone?
Okay, so the audience right now, it's 86%. They're not feeling it, but there is some positive. Anna says, it's giving me 90s movie soundtrack. I kind of like it. I kind of don't hate it.
Yeah, I don't hate it. I just wish I could hear it better.
And then everything else is, no thanks. This is awful. Denny, what do you think?
So I thought the music was nice. It reminded me of that old 90s vibe. I don't know. Corey Feldman's an interesting character when it comes to his music. I think we like his music for different reasons than I think maybe Corey Feldman wants people to like his music.
Yeah, we like it because we're clowning.
Exactly. Even Ascension Millennium, which you could argue is one of his bigger hits, that song's probably one of his most palatable, and that one's still kind of.
And it sounds like me and Denny's are big fans of Corey Feldman.
We
We're
went
dropping
to-
song names.
Ascension Millennium? Oh, that wasn't written when they were high.
I think it all is, Virginia.
Ascension Millennium. What the F does that mean?
It's a weird song. I definitely recommend watching the video.
Okay, I bet your ears, guys, are long enough with Corey Feldman. Virginia, what's on your mind?
Well, today we have a consultation. Me and Magnolia are going to the nose job doctor.
Oh, no.
So many people reached out to me on social media, on email. I got a million DMs about this. And most people are very anti-nose job, which I am as well. I don't really think it's a good idea for a 17-year-old to get a nose job. I know a lot of kids do, and I don't judge you if you did. But for me and my family, I think it's very expensive, and it's just not that necessary. I don't think her nose looks that bad. But
It doesn't look bad at all. Her nose doesn't look bad at all.
that being
has a normal
said,
nose.
I don't know. It's not completely normal. But that being said, I can look at it and go, you'll be fine. Just ride this out. A lot of people wrote in and said, hey, have you heard about liquid rhinoplasty, which is where they take one part of your nose and build it up to make the bump seem less prominent.
Gotcha.
And it seems like a weird concept, right? You're adding to a nose that you already think is big. Well, now isn't it just going to be bigger? It seems to defeat the purpose. But apparently, she's shown me a bunch of pictures before and after. It's just where they put filler in this one part of the nose. Way less intrusive than actual rhinoplasty.
And then if she likes it,
And then if she
future
likes it,
rhinoplasty.
yeah, when she gets in her 20s or maybe when she gets to be an adult and she can pay for it herself, she can do it. That would be better.
no way, that's so expensive.
It bums me out because I honestly think Magnolia's nose is great. I really do. I'm not trying to be pandering on the microphone.
I know.
I'm not trying to kiss anyone's butt on this.
I agree with you.
I think her nose is perfectly perfect the way it is. I've never noticed a single flaw in that kid's face or anything. And I wish she would listen to that.
I know. I've been telling her.
Because your nose is perfectly fine, Mag. I don't know if she listens to the show. I don't know if we're not cool for the youngsters.
You gotta meet her.
We're definitely not cool.
I don't know anymore, and I know my opinion doesn't mean a hill of beans, but I wish Magnolia just
What
wouldn't
an
even.
old guy thing to say.
I'm old. I mean, I'm okay with being old.
Well, I just think back to when I was younger, all the things I wanted to change.
Right.
That when I got older, I was like, whatever.
What
know?
did you? Can you think back of something you wanted to change?
They came out that movie Gattaca, where the guy took the identity of another person, and they had to make him taller. So I guess they do this procedure for real, but they break your shins.
They do.
And then they insert something, and then
rod.
painfully you adjust to it, and then you are taller because they've made you taller. When I was younger, everybody it was always tall and handsome. So you're like you would cheat, you strive for that when you're younger, right? Well, so I'm pretty average height. Now I don't care, but when I was younger, anyone that was taller was cooler. It was just a perception, I guess you could say.
Totally.
But, I mean, I wasn't going to go and get that surgery, despite the fact that seemed like a pretty cool thing to do.
Yeah.
The problem is Mags runs with some fancy friends that definitely are in a different tax bracket than our family. And some of these fancier girls have gotten a nose job for graduation or a nose job for their 17th birthday. Even growing up, where I did, one of my best friends growing up, she got a nose job for her 16th birthday. But her nose was really big, and her dad was a surgeon.
Yeah,
so
I mean, that's...
he kind of knew people.
Or if you have some sort of issue and they do the surgery and it closes up your passageways, that's good as well.
I'm pulling for the liquid rhinoplasty, and so
Maybe
today...
she won't like it, and then you won't have to worry about it.
You know me, man. I'm old school when it comes to this kind of stuff. That's how I was raised. You were raised with what you got.
Yeah.
and you have to learn to love it.
Yeah.
That's so. This is always going to be a. I also can't sit during a talk show and not give my opinion either.
Sure.
I don't. I never would want to try to start drama with Magnolia or you. I just wish this wouldn't. I wish this wasn't happening.
I agree. I've said the same exact thing to her, but here we are. She keeps hammering and hammering. And have you heard about the liquid rhinoplasty, man?
She's on that cutting edge stuff.
She's so up to date, following every nose job hashtag. What's on your mind, Dennys?
You guys ever do something just so dumb that because you weren't paying attention?
Every day.
Well,
Just now.
Several times a day.
well, so after my routine lately, because I just recently got a dog, so I have to, it's part of my routine now to walk the dog, feed the dog, all the fun stuff. So I get out of work before my wife gets out of work. So when I get home midday, I take the dog for the midday walk.
Aw.
If you guys have noticed, it's been 5,000 degrees outside.
It's the hottest time.
It's really hot.
You got to get that dog a treadmill.
I can't believe it. I'm at the point now where I'm taking 2 to 3 showers a day because every time you walk the dog, you get soaked.
I walked out to get my mail, and I could not believe why God would make the sun that hot.
It's next level hot outside, so...
I feel like the sun's definitely closer, right?
It feels like there's something going on.
It feels like it's right down the street.
I think there's a worldwide heat wave. Other countries are feeling it as well.
Okay, good.
I think it's always hot in Florida, and then we're feeling it even greater, but...
Yeah, my lawn's looking like a Brillo pad right now.
Same here. If it rains, though, you'll see it turns green, and then the next day it immediately turns back brown.
I know. It's weird.
It doesn't need much to turn back green, but I digress. Well, so I've been walking
Speaking
the
of
dog.
green.
Part of my routine now is right when I get home, I turn the fan on high, I take a shower, and then I lay on the bed naked, and the air.
That's hot.
Yes. Yeah, it's just how you have to cool off now.
Can you kind of give us a little sex warning before something like that?
Well, so you lay there kind of in the star shape, and you just let the wind hit you, and you're still a little bit damp from the shower, so it cools you off quick. It's been my thing that I've been doing.
Okay.
Well, so yesterday I was doing my standard routine. I'm laying on the bed, but the blanket was all bunched, but I didn't care. I was so hot, I just laid on it.
You were in the middle doing the starfish.
Yes, I'm in the mid-starfish. So when you get up, the bed's a little bit damp from you laying on it and stuff. So I went to fluff the comforter, right? Well, so I lifted it way up to fluff it, and my fan's on high speed. My knuckles, it's like... I dropped to my knees, naked. My dog runs up, licking my side as I'm writhing in pain. It's just, I saw the fan was on high. I wasn't paying attention. I went to fluff my comforter, and my right hand today is just in agony.
It really is. It's quite alarming when you accidentally hit a fan.
Oh my gosh.
When you get in a fist fight with a fan and the fan wins.
The dog hears the noise, runs in. I'm laying on the ground.
Oh,
it's
the
licking my
dog wanted
armpit.
to help you.
Oh, it did. I felt terrible. But
It really is embarrassing. One of the first time, I believe it was the first time I had met my girlfriend's parents at the time. You know how I talk with my hands?
Yes.
Big time. Well, I'm telling a story, talking with my hands, and my hand hits the fan right when I'm first meeting them, and they thought I was a nutcase.
Fan hand.
It's so embarrassing.
it's so no one was there, and I was embarrassed. I couldn't believe it, but yeah, just I saw the fan. I knew it was gonna happen, and I still just wasn't paying attention. I think the heat is messing with my brain.
It is. It's cooking us.
It's making me not pay attention to anything.
Crazy from the heat. That's real.
New drinking game. We have to drink every time someone says, "Where's Kevin Ralston at?"
Yeah, I seen a couple texts popping through asking where the Kevin Ralston's at.
He's not sick. He's at the big time meeting.
He's repping. He's going to Chicago, and he's going to be talking to all like the Hubbard corporate executives that own this company. Ugh.
No pressure.
No thanks.
How bad would you hate? How bad would you hate doing that gig?
I would hate it. I would despise it.
The boss says, "Virginia, you have to lead a presentation for the whole company."
I quit.
What would you even talk about?
Aliens and pizza. So who believes in aliens, guys? Who loves pizza? This is pretty much what I do in my job.
I would just do the dirt. Okay, guys, here's what's going on with the Kardashians.
So yeah, we'll probably keep updating everybody every few breaks just to let everybody know what's going on. That Kevin is out, and you got the VJD show today.
Yeah, spread the word. Tell the others.
Spread the word, yes.
I like that. Let's use that.
All right, spread the word, guys.
It's the KVJ Show. Kevin is out today, heading up to Chicago to do like boring meetings with our bosses that, I'm a pass.
Yeah, that's not my gig.
No.
We used to go to those things.
Well, I used to go, but I would get too hammered and be a jerk off.
Like,
and
I
then,
wasn't helping anyone.
I would spend 9 months regretting what those people saw.
I don't think I was helping either.
Yeah.
I don't think I was
Between
helping
the
either.
two of us, yeah. It's better we send Kevin.
The moral support.
But what we're going to do, we're going to do something fun. We used to do in the Weird and Whatever podcast. We're going to do something called Dennys Random Facts. Denny's is great at really finding all these fun factoids and kind of wowing you with his information.
I love it.
You always learn from Sweet Denny's.
Yes.
Denny's, the floor is yours.
You guys will definitely learn at least one thing here.
Okay.
So I feel like this could be a tradition brought back for the modern person, but among the Hoy-Chol Indians, the father would traditionally sit above his laboring wife in the rafters of their hut with a rope tied around his testicles so that while the woman was having painful contractions, she could tug on the rope. That way, they could both experience the pain of bringing new life into the world.
I love it.
I figured you would love that, Virginia.
Where is this testicle strap and how can I get one?
So the guy had to crouch above in the rafters. It was designed where they would give birth, and then a rope was tied around, and then it was yanked as the pain got greater.
All right, maternity wards, let's start building a little perch where we can put dudes with the rope and the whole thing. Oh, this is brilliant.
I mean,
It's good stuff.
yes.
Sign us up.
See, you're learning.
These Indians were on it.
Awesome tradition. Yeah, I'd like to see. You wonder if in the future they're going to come up with a machine or something that connects the two together. That way, if you wanted to, you could experience the pain of birth. Did you guys? I mean, you guys probably never thought about this, and I as well didn't. But every planet in our solar system is named after a god, except for Earth. Earth is the only planet in the solar system which we have no record on how the planet was named.
Really?
They have record of how every other planet was named and why it was named. The only one we don't have any record of is Earth. And even weirder, all the other ones are named after Greek gods or Roman gods. And Earth seems to have its roots from an Old English term, Europe, which means soil or dirt. So why would it be an Old English word that we adopted for Earth when the Romans were the ones who named the original planets?
Perhaps because we're descendants of aliens?
That's the theory.
It's a growing theory, by the way. I know
Oh, it absolutely
someone
is.
will send a long manifesto of why I'm wrong, but
Am I on the Weird and Whatever podcast right now?
sorry.
It's one of those.
Look, when one of us is out of the show, it's going to sound different. It's always going to sound different, y'all.
I think this is a great idea, and it's been an experiment scientists have been working on. They are working on crafting a plastic-eating superworm. The amount of plastic that's in the oceans, in the human body, in animal bodies is increasing every year. Microplastics, we just keep gathering more and more from what we eat. And scientists are thinking it's becoming a problem. And recently, June 9th, Australian researchers found and cultivated a darkling beetle larvae that solely survives off of styrofoam in our first attempts to create a plastic-eating superworm. My only fear is that once the superworms have eaten all the plastic in the ocean, are they then going to go move to things that we use? Is it going to become a new bug that we have to worry about? Because a lot of the stuff we use is plastic.
Or they decide, okay, we've filled up on all the plastic. Now we're hungry for human flesh.
You never know.
It's happening, Virginia.
But yeah, they're working on a superworm that can eat plastic, and hopefully, I mean, nobody I think realized how much of a problem plastic was going to become.
Yeah, we've got some issues with the plastic.
Don't they say like we eat the equivalent of 30 credit cards now over the course of our lives?
Tons. In fact, they
That
attribute
doesn't
it
feel good.
to a lot of digestive issues, stomach issues, intestinal issues, because microplastics are passing through your system, which your body cannot break down.
That's where the IBS comes from? IBS?
It certainly doesn't help.
Well, think about all the new diseases and how much more we hear about the cancers and stuff. Like, is it because we're eating credit cards?
But someone also said we have a lot of new diseases, but we also have a lot of old diseases that aren't around anymore. So are we just replacing diseases with other diseases? Is that just how life is supposed to be?
I think it is. I think as we get rid of old diseases, I think we're exposed to new conditions that we didn't have before that can cause new diseases.
But with the plastics, I mean, we've got to be able to realize it's greed. We're putting these additives and we're putting our food in these packages to make it easier and more profitable for these companies that manufacture them.
Just to paint a picture for you, this morning I forgot to take my allergy pill. I got to work and I realized it when I looked in my container and it was empty, so I didn't have any at work either. So I ran to the gas station. I bought one of those one-time allergy pills, which I'm a little goofy from, by the way, because it's not my typical one. But that came wrapped in 3 plastic containers for one pill.
Bruh.
I opened it, there was another container. I opened it, there was another container. I go, what is happening?
That is ridiculous.
For one pill, 3 plastic containers.
You, bro, you got any more of those allergy pills? You got a weird, goofy ride?
I'm a little goofy today.
If you didn't bring enough for the whole class, don't bring any.
Well, I take a specific non-drowsy one, which they did not have.
This sounds like the podcast.
Denny's on goofballs.
Yes, I'm a little goofy over here.
How many more factoids do you want? I say just keep going, dog.
Give us one more.
Yeah,
I need another one. That was good.
Give us your best one, dog.
All right, well, so I think just this was crazy. Australia has over 10,000 beaches. In fact, you could visit a new beach every day for 27 years. Just to put that in perspective, Florida has 360 miles of coastline and 189 official beaches.
Wow.
Australia has 31,000.
Australia be beaches.
They are, man.
It's just to put in perspective how large Australia is 31,000 miles of coastline.
Australia kind of looks like a chicken nugget in the ocean.
Well, so it looks like a small chicken nugget, but it's gigantic.
It does. And they always talk about how there's no worries in Australia, but every time I read a story about Australia, they're always worried.
They don't got no guns. That's an interesting thing about Australia.
They got giant termites. They got kangaroos and wallabies, which just hang out on your property.
You're saying it wrong. It's wallaby.
Wallaby.
Everybody I've ever met from Australia is also feisty and fun and a little crass and awesome and quick-witted.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody from Australia. How many people have you met from Australia?
3.
They're all Paul Hogan.
I never met him.
They're all from the Crocodile Dundee movies. Denny's home run. Great job.
Hope you guys learned something.
We loved it.
All right, excellent.
KVJ Show on WRMF. Kevin is out. He is doing a little work trip. So it's like a vacation because he gets to go to Chicago, but it's not fun because he has to like give a presentation to all the bosses.
So I don't think that's a vacation then. That's
No.
he's at work.
But the good news is the presentation happens today. And then after he gives the presentation, then it's like the little DJ conference party where he can party with all his friends.
Kevin's a good public speaker. He's got nothing to worry about. I get why you'd be nervous, but he's going to crush it.
Oh, he's going
absolutely.
to crush it. Especially if he's listening. You're going to crush it, Kevin.
Crush it, bro.
Yes. Well, we've been called out for something. We outraged somebody, Virginia. We'll
Get in line.
we'll get to what we did. Someone sent us a weird email about why they're outraged with us, and it's always so odd why people get mad at stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet Denny's is really always on the front line. He's taken a lot of phone calls where
Well, it's his fault.
well, if you say
He should definitely have to get the heat.
if you say something crazy or I say something crazy, they call in, and Sweet Denny's got to hear it.
It's true.
But there is always something that people are outraged on social media, and I don't know if you guys have seen this, but the Breaking Bad, they released a statue that they're doing of the guys from Breaking Bad, and some people are outraged, Virginia, because they're meth dealers.
Right.
And you're glorifying meth dealers, and why do they get statues and other people don't? And Twitter was outraged.
They know they're not really meth dealers, right? They're actors.
And I don't know if anyone really ever gets mad about a lot of this stuff. They say people are mad, but just because some people are retweeting it on Twitter, does that mean everyone's really mad at it?
No. I mean, people probably see it for the first time and they go, "All right, yeah, I agree. I disagree, whatever." But I wonder if they're really truly mad about
Well,
it.
they create an agenda, and it gets it publicity. And where maybe nobody would have been talking about the statue, now people are outraged because these meth guys have a statue. When really nobody's that outraged because they realize they're not actual meth dealers.
Yeah.
They're actors.
Cranston's Malcolm's dad. You know, he's not a real meth dealer.
Now, this is a story and people are really outraged about this one. Who is this guy, the Dan Schneider guy?
Dan Schneider is a writer and producer, and he worked for Nickelodeon and did iCarly, Sam and Cat, Victorious, a lot of TV shows. But I guess he was a kid actor too.
He was back in the day, low budget kid actor, and people are mad and outraged because someone took the old shows from, was it Victorious? Was that the name of the show?
There was Victorious, Sam and Cat, iCarly.
They took a montage of some of the stuff that I guess Ariana Grande, they made her do as an actress or an actor, and they put it together and they said it's very pervy, and people go, why is this guy not brought down yet?
He has been brought down. I think he doesn't work anymore. I know Nickelodeon paid him a chunk of money to go away. Now, I don't know where he is and what he's doing since then, but they were like, you got to go, Dan.
Well, isn't he the one they said had this weird foot fetish?
Yes.
Okay, so here's the clip, and it's very bizarre.
I'm gonna say 3 sentences that I bet not one person has ever said before. Oh man, my uvula got stuck between that hamster's toes. That could never happen, because your uvula is that swingy thing in the back of your throat right here. I'm soaking wet! Quick, somebody bring me the ocean! Have you ever tried to get your whole big toe in your mouth? Check this out. Sometimes I wonder if you can get juice from a potato. Come on!
So what's going on? She's doing a lot of, like, she's holding the potato, and they're saying that it's been done in a certain way to make it look a little pervy.
Wow.
And they put all the montage together, and Denny's Twitter's angry.
So, pulling the audio, what did you think? Did you think it looked incriminating?
Well, okay, so the part where she's talking about the uvula and all that, she's putting her hand in her mouth. There's a part where she puts her foot in her mouth. There's a lot of
There's a lot of foot stuff.
There's a lot of foot stuff.
You can tell this cat had a foot fetish. And this guy, I think, like, flew under the radar because, we didn't notice that he was doing it because he would sprinkle it throughout all the shows. But when you put all the foot stuff back to back and then you combine it with people like Jeanette McCurdy talking about how he liked to get back rubs from the young kids acting on the set.
Well, people were outraged, Denny, because they thought the clip was terrible. Then on the other side, oh my gosh, it's just acting. If you put a montage together, you can make anybody look like a pervert. And there goes the fighting.
I agree with the montage concept, but you've got to just look deeper too. And this guy wanted kids to rub him.
Well, yeah, if there's also rumors behind the scene corroborating that he's a little bit creepy, and then this montage comes out, then it's...
I think Jeanette McCurdy said he gave her booze. If, in fact, he is the quote-unquote creator, because I don't think she called him out by name and said Dan Schneider. I think she called him the creator, maybe to release herself from any liability.
Well,
I don't know.
We are also the source of some outrage out there. Do you want to hear what Linda from Wellington had to say? And this is kind of an odd thing we're getting called out for. And I don't even remember having some of the opinions she's saying we did. All right, I am outraged at you, KVJ. Why on earth would you give the Anne Heche rumor airtime? She was high on drugs. End of story, period. Stop being a show that gives crazy conspiracy theories the time of day. I was disappointed, to say the least. I expect that kind of prep from Virginia, but from Kevin and Jason? Y'all starting to sound like Alex Jones over there.
I don't think you said it. It was me.
Do better research or lose listeners. The choice is yours.
Bye. There's the door. Don't let it hit you or the good Lord split you.
Well, what did we say about Anne Heche?
There's conspiracy theories out there, just like there are with everything, especially your bigger news stories. And Anne Heche, it's a weird story. She drove her car into this house, drove her car practically through this house, and she was in the car for like an hour. They didn't extract her from the car as everything burned. It took an hour, and I thought that was weird. And then they put her in what looked like a body bag, and then she tried to get out of it, and you could see her trying to get out of it. I thought that was weird.
Also weird.
I recollect.
People are saying it's a burn bag and that it's normal for patients to have involuntary, but it didn't look involuntary. It looked like homegirl was trying to crawl off the stretcher and get out of the body bag from the video that I saw. And everybody said that they found her at the scene non-responsive and she never regained consciousness. Okay, that hooker was trying to get off the stretcher in the video I saw.
You are going to outrage Linda from
She's gonna send
Wellington.
another email now.
Linda, bring it. I don't care. Look at the video. It's weird. The details, they're weird. I don't know what's going on. I just know it's just wonky.
We just report it.
Outrage.
Yeah.
And that's what's going on in your outrage news.
Yeah.
It's the KVJ Show. Kevin is out today. He's going up to Chicago to do some business stuff. And no thanks. Meeting with a bunch of bosses, I'll pass.
It's a good opportunity, though. It
is.
It's a great opportunity for our show
It's
to be
good
in
for
front
our
of the company.
show, but it's good that Kevin's going.
Yeah, it's good that we were left behind.
Sometimes you got to leave some people behind. And I'm okay with that.
Sometimes you shouldn't, I don't know, bring feral cats to a business meeting.
I had zero desire to go to Chicago.
Me too.
Oh, jeez.
No,
I was born there.
The right man went.
Yeah.
So he's there. He's going to be giving his presentation today. So y'all say a little prayer for KVJ and for Kevin to be strong up there. You know Kevin loves prayer.
You didn't know Sweet Denny's was from the mean streets of Chicago, did you?
I did not.
Yes, that's where I was born. As my parents met, they lived there for a long time, and then when they decided to have a kid, I think they were on the 46th floor of a building, and there's a picture of me looking down as a child, and they were just thinking, we should move somewhere where a little, maybe not in a big city, and that's why they moved out. But they love Chicago. My parents have just an admiration for Chicago.
Chicago's fun, but I get what they're saying. Raising a kid in a high rise is like, ugh.
Yeah, and you just,
It's hard.
Do they have a strong opinion about Chicago pizza?
So they're weird because they feel food is regional. So you get different foods in different regions, and there's no best food. They're just all different. So they love Chicago pizza and Chicago hot dogs, but they also like going to New York and getting New York pizza. They like hot dogs from Boston, weirdly. They just like Philly cheesesteaks from Philly. I mean, obviously, but there's another Philly cheesesteak, but it's not Philly cheese, from another place that they like a lot too. They just like regional foods. I think you have to get it regionally because, I mean, I would say it has to probably do a lot with the water in the area. So if you're getting cheese from local cows and they're being fed fresh water, their milk is going to be a little bit fresher.
When in Rome, bruh.
Yes.
That's what they say. They really always talk about the difference of water from New York to Chicago, and even here in Florida, they go, we got to ship a water in from 48th and 9th. It's the only way we make a bagels.
It's true, though, but if you go to other places, the water in Florida, is a little bit skunkier. Yeah, it's just not quite there.
It's all that gator poo.
Yeah, and I think it's because we're sea level. We don't have quite the depth of the aquifer. In the mountains, it goes through a ton of...
Damn, Denny's just dropped aquifer.
But he's right. When we were in Logan, Ohio, I was drinking off the water fountain. That tasted different than Florida.
In the middle of woods.
You drank out of a water fountain?
It's different, Virginia.
What the hell is the matter with you? It's COVID, bro.
No, I'm talking about the natural water fountain, dog. The like a waterfall, I should say.
The moving water.
Yeah, I
but they also
apologize.
have water fountains, too.
You didn't drink out of the crusty water fountain outside the men's restroom, did you?
We did that as well,
No,
but we
no.
also did the waterfall, and the waterfall did taste way different than Florida amoeba water.
Oh, so you drank out of like a pure spring.
Yes, I did.
They have just waterfalls there that just infinitely spill.
And it does taste different. And you know me, I hate water, and I really thought, water doesn't really taste, it tastes different.
Was it the cave water?
It was. I drank cave water, and I loved it. And I felt like a caveman.
When I was in Kentucky, we did that cave tour.
All right.
And I love a cave tour, but this one was by boat. So you had to go like under this cave lip, and then it was this big, huge opening, but you went by boat. And this guy that was the tour guide, who was very cute, was telling this story.
Go on.
He was telling this story about how back in the day, the old man, like in the 1800s, that owned the cave also had the cow pasture above the cave. And he would have these people come in the cave and pay a nickel for a tour. But if you paid a nickel more, you could drink from this special spring that had this water that came down it.
That's awesome.
And it was going into the whole cave. But what he didn't tell people is that it was the runoff from the cow pasture. So it was literally poo water that these people would pay an extra nickel to drink.
Oh, they're like so
They thought it
fresh.
was spring water, and they thought it was like, because he would tell them like a whole BS thing, like, oh, it's the fountain of youth. If you drink from this spring, give me a nickel, you'll live forever. And they were like, oh yeah, they'd give him his nickel. They were drinking cow poo water.
They're like ladling it on the back of their neck.
So I hope you didn't drink cow poo water. You didn't look for the cow pasture above, did you?
You kidding me? I looked for nothing. I was about 4 whiskeys deep. What are you talking about? I was on vacation.
I think we were safe.
I was drinking poo cave water. Thanks for putting that in my head.
Bats up there.
Poo water.
I thought I had this great natural moment. No, I swear, it was good water, dog. It was.
It was. I saw the top. I think we were cool.
All right.
I'm just saying there's a difference.
Just look for cows.
I did not know that was a thing.
That was a thing.
Yeah, I just think regionally food tastes different, and I think you can develop taste for different areas.
Well, every time we talk about the Chicago pizza versus New York, everyone's got an opinion. If you put the best Chicago pizza versus the best New York pizza, who wins? What tastes better?
I think Chicago because it's thicker, and I like a doughy pie.
And then New Jersey's coming along the pike saying we've got the best pizza in the country.
Yeah, each area has their kind of style of pizza now. I think they're all different. Because Chicago pizza, I love eating with a fork and knife.
You think there's any chance Kevin has Chicago pizza when he's up there?
Not a chance in hell.
There's no way, right?
I don't know. I mean, when you're drinking and you're out there having fun like he's going to be, sometimes you jump off your diet for a minute.
No, even when he's drinking, he's got the temperament of a saint.
He does. He doesn't get tempted by it.
Do it, Kevin. Eat the pizza. Eat the thick pizza.
It's the KVJ Dirt of the Day. It's the KVJ Dirt of the Day. Virginia, take it away, cause you know we need that Dirt of the Day.
Well, it looks like they did the investigation into that fatal shooting on the set of Rust, the Alec Baldwin movie. And according to the investigation, they are saying that he did, in fact, pull the trigger. And Alec Baldwin is doubling down, saying, look, I did not pull the trigger. He says he was practicing a technique called fanning, where he was like moving the gun and pulling the hammer, but he didn't mean to fire it. He wasn't pulling the thing back all the way. I don't know. I'm not really familiar with how a gun works, but and I agree with him on this. He said, look, when the safety officer handed me the gun on the set, they told me it was cold, meaning it was not loaded with bullets. If somebody's handing you a gun on a set, which I thought all the guns on the set are supposed to be cold, right? They're not supposed to have real bullets in these guns on a movie set, right?
Yeah, I think they're referring to it's cold, meaning I don't even think it has blanks in it. It
Right.
would be just a gun that's empty.
And he says that's what was said to him. And I guess there's other people that have backed that up and said that was what was said to him, that it was cold when they handed it to him. I mean, his finger may have pulled the trigger, but y'all told him it was a cold gun. So although I do think he did pull the trigger, I think that it's not his fault if you hand him a gun and tell him it's cold. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, if you're handed something and you're told that it doesn't have any bullets in it, I mean, and he said he was fanning. Fanning's where instead of pulling the trigger to activate the hammer, you pull it back with your hand. It's a technique cowboys used to use.
Well, we've got Rob on line 2 wants to debate Virginia on gun control. Yeah, I'm just kidding.
Bring it, Rob. I'm not scared of you. I am a little scared of your gun, though.
Rob's packing heat.
I will verbally take you down. Now, in a shootout, you got me, Rob. In other news, it looks like this is a great thing to have out there. So Rachel Bilson, who used to date Bill Hader back in the day, went on a podcast. And it seems like a lot of times if celebrities go on podcasts, it's a little loose.
It is.
They sometimes have a little more cocktail
I
in
think
them.
they set it up for that.
They say things that maybe they wouldn't say, like on a regular Today Show interview.
Well, even on our podcast, there's sometimes we let it fly. We go, I don't know if we should have said that.
Drinking makes you have loose lips.
It
I know
does.
we're not telling anybody anything they don't already know, but I think Rachel Bilson got a little loose on this podcast. But this is not necessarily a bad thing to have out there. So when they were asking her about what she misses about Bill Hader, her ex, she talked about how he was very well endowed, and she does miss that a lot.
Well.
And then she burst into laughter and said, let's move on. So, I mean, not a bad rumor to have out there about you, Bill Hader. Nobody's hating that. And in other news, Serena Williams talking a little bit about what she does to stay mentally fit. Okay, I can't think of many people out there in the game that are more mentally fit than Serena Williams. What's the secret?
Mental fitness for me is just really learning to shut down. You know, I did this years ago before mental health was like a topic among everyone's mind. It was more just like, all right, I'm shutting myself down today. Just subconsciously, it was something I've always done. And so now that I know that it's so important to just put yourself first, especially mentally, I always have shut down moments.
Okay.
All right.
I will shut down. There will be no second dirt of the day.
Yeah, we're done.
What does a sweet Dennys do when he wants to shut down, wants to get away from it all? Other than the obvious.
Yeah. I think there is validity to that statement, though. I think you do have to disconnect from the outside world when you get home.
Well, she's a mega star, and she's probably someone who doesn't read her social media, I'd imagine. Doesn't. Because I find when the stars do that, they start to go a little crazy.
You're right.
Yeah.
I think sometimes the comments can get to you because people leaving comments are hateful, and
You're right.
it's not reality. Comments that are left on celebrities' social media posts are not reality. People would never say that to the celebrity's face, and sometimes it's not even how they really feel. It's just them trying to get a reaction.
Well, even just not celebrities. I just think sometimes there's just crap on social media. You don't have to be a celebrity for someone to leave crap on your
Absolutely.
wall. That's the kids say.
If you don't usually get a lot of interaction with your post and then you get 5 hateful comments on something, that's going to affect you.
Totally.
Well, for the average person, five hateful comments on something.
I mean,
that's
that's a lot.
a big deal. That's a lot.
I think anybody is rocked by 5 hateful comments in a row. It does make you it takes you back.
It does.
It takes you aback, or whatever the word is.
Getting called out. Oh, man.
Maybe Virginia's onto something. Don't read the comments.
Don't read the hateful ones. And I don't know how you filter out the hateful because they're mixed in there.
Well, you're right. Because
It's impossible to filter out the hateful ones unless you have somebody go in ahead of you and delete all the hateful ones, which seems like a lot of work.
But I think that's what Serena was saying was she's blocking out all the outside kind of stuff like that.
Shut it down.
I think you do. You just have to clear your mind and not let it affect you because no matter what, people are always going to talk trash. They're also always going to talk nicely. There's
If they're
just
not talking a little trash about you, then you're not stirring it up effectively.
It's true.
Your girl, Selgo.
Selena Gomez. Yeah.
She said she quit. Now, she's a celebrity. Who knows if she's telling the truth? But she seems like she's not lying. She said she quit social media completely.
Good for her.
And could not believe the difference in happiness in her life. She couldn't believe it.
Well, yeah, look at example. You can see how stressed out and on edge everybody is. Even just driving to work, I can see it.
Do you attribute that to social media?
Yeah, I think what it did was it really lets you see what all your friends think at all times. And I don't think you necessarily always will agree, even if they're friends with you.
You should know what everybody's thinking.
It really is.
You know what?
It was taught at a young age.
It doesn't matter because all these people, what they're thinking about Selena needs to hold her head high and be confident, and she's talented and she's beautiful. She don't need to let these little haters in her ear.
I think that's the lesson, is that you really don't need to. I mean, you can take some criticisms and make some adjustments, but I don't think it should wreck your world. It's not designed. Well, I mean, I think they're designing it to hurt you, but you don't have to let it. It's all
Selena
yourself.
and Serena, shut them down.
You're not supposed to type everything that comes into your
Definitely
brain.
not.
Just like you're not supposed to say everything that comes into your brain.
I feel like the old lessons are lost.
The old lessons are lost.
And this old man rant is brought to you by
Geritol.
Real quick, touching back on Alec Baldwin and the gun. A lot of people texted in. Just to let you know, I guess this is just a rule for all gun owners. No matter what, always check your gun. Whether
really,
it's hot or cold, whatever you're told, always check it no matter what, and then we'll just have more safety when it comes to guns.
Dennys is right. That's the main fight that everyone says. It doesn't matter. You always got to check your gun.
You know what? Just always check it.
Do the actors do that?
So I think that's where this problem came into
This is
play.
a movie set. So you've got prima donna actors like Alec Baldwin that are used to having everything done for them.
Absolutely.
And does Alec check the gun? Does anybody? Does a Tom Cruise check the gun?
Well, so I think this situation is why in the future we should always, no matter what, just check the gun.
I think that's what they're trying to say is even if you're Alec Baldwin, even if you are the actor, if you have a gun in your hand, you have to check it. It's kind of like
you can't trust
anything. That's how you're gonna cover your
butt. On
butt.
the set of The Crow, after that incident happened with Brandon Lee, the rules changed, and I think for a long time it was people responsibly did it, and then again another thing happens like this that's unfortunate, and then people adjust the rules and then change.
And the other thing, too, is Alec Baldwin's majorly political, too. So people are going to really hammer him.
You have to remove all of your political hate for Alec Baldwin, which I know a lot of people cannot do.
It will never happen. that will never happen.
You have to look at the facts. You can't bring your own bias and your hate for him. Yeah, you may hate him for what he says politically, but did he do anything wrong, or was he just following the protocol of an actor on the set? When they hand you a cold gun and tell you it's cold, What does an actor do? I don't know. I'm not an actor. I don't know what the protocol is.
Rob from Port St. Lucie, he on line 2. He wants to debate you about gun control again. Yeah. You're getting awfully lippy about guns over there, Sinicki.
I don't know anything about guns, so I can't debate you on gun control. But I can debate you on divas on a movie set that have everything done for them. Alec Baldwin probably doesn't do anything. Doesn't get his coffee, doesn't shine his shoes, doesn't do his dry cleaning, doesn't comb his hair, doesn't do his makeup. He doesn't do anything because he's a celebrity on that level.
I absolutely agree. I think this is just a check yourself moment where they're going to change it.
And tell Rob to pipe down.
I've never seen Denny so mad.
Well, I'm just going on the amount of comments. That one seemed to get a lot of comments going.
I can't believe that guns got the movement going with our comments.
Well, you can only see 15 messages at a time without scrolling down, and all 15 I can see right now are all about that gun. So clearly it struck a chord with some people.
You guys want to go into voting fraud next?
Send us an email. I would love to hear some well-versed emails, some well-written emails.
Can you read them off the air in your own time? Because I do not want to.
Send those to Virginia.
Oh, yeah, and that's what's going on in your dirt of the day.
Yes.
All right, we got some birthdays, some cuties having a birthday. This one is going out to Dominic. He's turning 12. Happy birthday from Mom, Dad, Elise, and Tommy. Look how cute he is, little nugget. Looks like he's out there zip-lining. I love zip-lining. That's so fun.
It's pretty scary. The first time you do it.
You've done it. Both of you've done it.
Yeah.
On an excursion once.
I loved it. I've done it everywhere.
Did it too. Did it with Vanilla Ice. No big deal.
Okay.
I'm bragging.
That is cool. All right, here's another birthday. It's for my girlfriend Jessica, a.k.a. Baby Godzilla. She's turning 42 and is not only beautiful on the inside and out, but she's my best friend and a cougar.
Oh.
Get it, Jessica. Happy birthday. Love Sean, Oliver, and the pup. Oh, and here's a picture. She's a pretty tasty cougar.
All right. Take it easy. She's got a picture of her man in there.
Well,
The cougar and the manther.
I gotta call the cougs as I see them. Girl's killing it. Happy birthday also going out to the best daddy, Andrew. Love Sparky. Oh, look, it's Andrew and Sparky.
Sparky sent the email in.
I love Sparky. That's a cute dog.
Oh, man.
It's a mini collie, I think. It's like Lassie.
That's that snout you like.
That is. That dog's got big snout energy, and I love a dog with a dried nose when it's sleeping. I know I sound weird, but I like to kiss it.
No. Andrew, don't bring your dog around Jaybird. First, he's going to molest it. Then he's going to steal it.
It is a loving way that I touch them.
I bet.
And not in that loving way, Virginia.
All right, this one is going out to Roman. Happy birthday. Roman's turning 9. We hope you have a great day. Love Mommy and Daddy. Look at the cutie getting ready for the first day of school. This one is going out to sweet and sassy and smart Ashlyn. Happy 9th birthday. Love Mom, Dad, Charlotte, and all the fur babies. If you got a birthday you want to get on the show, do not DM us. Send an email. Send it to mail@kvjshow.com, and we will get your birthday on.
All right, we got some more stuff coming up for everyone.
I like that's a sexy tease,
Yeah,
Dennys.
there you go.
We've got stuff coming up. We don't know what it is, but it's
got
gonna
my
be stuff.
I don't got my notes up at the moment.
Hey, this ain't Kevin.
Yeah.
We ain't prepping like Kevin around here. It's a little more loose when the cat's away. The mice will play.
Yeah, and by the way, it's free.
Yes.
It's free entertainment.
So more free entertainment for everybody coming up here.
It's the KVJ Show on 97.9 WRMF. Kevin is up in Chicago. Even though I tried to start a rumor yesterday that he wasn't going to be here because he had to go to Mexico and save his daughter that was taken.
Oh, geez.
That's quite a rumor.
I know.
Why? I don't get it. I just don't understand it.
It was just a rumor, though.
What a rumor. What crap do you say about me?
I just think it's fun to make up stories.
That's cool.
Maybe I'm a pathological liar, but it's only to amuse myself.
That's one of the more insane things I've heard you ever say. But
Stick around.
let's move along.
All right, so I got some random questions for the two of you. And Suits, too, if you want to chime in. I know Suits sometimes gets on the phone and chimes in.
All right. If
Random
worst case,
questions.
you can do hand signals.
What are you obsessed with right now?
This sounds terrible, but somebody uploaded all of these commercial-free Dr. Phil episodes on YouTube illegally, because usually Dr. Filthy only gives you about 3 mins on his regular. He hooks you in, and then you have to go to the website and do all that crap.
Yeah.
Yes. Now someone's uploaded a ton, and I don't know, Virginia, the drama has got me hooked. I was watching some with my dad. We got hooked on Dr. Filthy episodes at nighttime, so that's kind of me and my dad's routine right now.
Oh, that's awesome.
I'm obsessed with it.
That's what's cool about YouTube right now. They are uploading, we've talked about it before, but now they're uploading all the commercials from the 90s that you used to see in between programming. It's 24 hours of just commercials, which seems weird, but it's so fun to watch back and remember these commercials you used to see when you were a kid.
Yeah, somebody uploaded the first, I think, week or two. They put it up in sections on YouTube when MTV first hit the airwaves, and they left the commercials in.
Oh, that's cool.
And everything.
Oh, it's so cool.
It
Oh,
is.
that's pretty wild.
You kind of see what was going on at that time.
I remember when that happened, and I was like, this is awesome. It's TV for us.
Oh, yeah.
It was MTV when they played music videos.
Yeah.
You had Beavis and Butthead. You had, there was Singled Out. Remember that show?
Yep. There was spring break.
Oh, they used to go off.
They used to go off at the spring breaks, and me and my friends, we were like, we must go.
I used to say the same thing.
We were too young the first year, but then we started going. I mean, I probably shouldn't have gone, but I was going to spring break when I was 16.
Other than partying, what are you obsessed with right now, Virginia?
I'm kind of in a TikTok wormhole, and I do this every so often. Like, I'll get all involved in TikTok and watching TikToks, and then I'll stop because it can really be time consuming.
Oh, yeah.
I'll be looking at TikToks and realize I just lost 45 minutes and I was supposed to be cooking dinner for the family.
That's funny because just scrolling through, like when we're looking through preps and trying to find things for the show, you'll sit there and I won't even move. I'm like a statue, just my thumb scrolling, and then you look up and it's been 30 minutes.
Totally.
And your neck's sore. You just can't even believe that you sat there and stared. It's just they have so much power in the palm of your hand now.
Hell in a handbasket. TikTok is turning this world to hell in a handbasket, Dennys.
It's distracting everyone. There was a subreddit I found. It was people distracted by smartphones, and it was just a compilation of videos of people on their smartphones either walking into walls, glass, tripping. There's one where a woman is rocking her it's the baby cradle, and she's on her phone, but the baby's not even in it. It's standing over in the corner playing.
The baby's left.
Not even noticed that the baby's not.
The baby's down the street.
Yeah.
You know what I don't get with the TikTok, and I get it. I sound old. I just don't understand why reaction video. It's somebody watching another video of something going on. They're doing nothing but just pointing and making faces at the camera, going like, what is that? Well, that's all the video is. And it's got like 1 million views of someone watching a video.
If someone with a lot of followers
starts reacting,
then I like it. If somebody without a lot of followers is doing reaction videos, I'm like, you don't understand what reaction videos are for.
So it's okay. Go ahead, Danny.
Well, I've just noticed that it seems to be people who already get a following,
right?
And then they start reacting to stuff. It became a trend amongst them.
Well, if they're big enough. Like, I saw one yesterday. Ed Sheeran was reacting to somebody singing one of his songs, and I loved it because you can see him and see Ed and see what Ed thinks of this person's vocal ability, which was pretty outrageously good.
See, that's different.
That is different.
It's specific. And it's Ed Sheeran reacting to one. There's a moment. There's a reason why that is cool.
Those hit.
But then there's
if it's Ed Sheeran reacting to a cake being made, I'd be like, I don't want to watch this because he has nothing to do with that.
I don't know. I don't think it's meant for me. I just don't get it.
I love it.
I can see with the celebrities reacting to something they've done.
Yes.
Right.
That makes sense to
I get
me.
it.
100%.
And there's a lot of that, depending on which celebrity you follow and like, and who comes up in your algorithm. I apologize that all you see is that broccoli lady.
And I'm not even talking about the reaction videos where someone will pause it and have commentary. That I even get. It's the ones where they're reacting and they don't say anything, and all they're doing is pointing and making TikTok faces, and their face is an emoji now.
All it says is this.
He says this right here. That's
It's
it.
got a
Period.
billion views. I don't get it, kids.
They're rolling their eyes.
Yeah.
It's a weird trend.
At least if you're commenting on something, or you're giving feedback.
All right, calm down, old man.
Sorry.
The vein in your old man neck is poking out.
Well, someone's got to speak the truth around these parts of Virginia. Damn it. You like TikTok way too much.
The truth is relative, bruh. I'm a youth at heart.
Clearly, that's not something you're obsessed with right now.
No, I'm obsessed with my hatred towards it.
Which you wonder if that's part of the game.
It is. It gets everybody. It's a big hamster wheel, Dennys. What are you obsessed with, Dennys?
So this one's kind of weird, but I've gotten into old games from 1993. I know that sounds oddly specific, but it was games.
Why would you say that?
My brother was very into computers. I didn't get into computers till college, but my brother was very into them. And I used to sit over his shoulder and watch him play these games. I was on YouTube, and I saw somebody playing that game, and I go, oh, wow. So I started watching YouTube videos of games from 1993. They were all games that my brother played that I watched. It's a weird thing that I go to bed to now. How odd is that?
I love it.
Yeah, just I think nostalgia is
It
just
puts
so...
you to sleep?
It puts me at a comfort, and then I fall asleep.
You see what I go to bed to.
Well, yeah.
The rain with the murder songs in the background.
Yeah, I mean, there's a peaceful / creepiness to it. I guess they could lull you.
I am in no position to judge anybody on what they go to bed to.
Panda puts on baseball, and I'm like, out. Like, oh, baseball puts me right to sleep.
Immediately.
Well, you clearly saw the big story, Virginia, about Fernando Tatis Jr. with the steroids.
Who the hell is that?
Yeah.
I said it for that reaction.
Tatis? What's Tatis doing now?
Nothing good. Got caught doing the juice.
I will say this. Panda's been putting on the captain, the story about Eric Jeter, and that is pretty fascinating.
Well, that's different because it's
Derek
about
Jeter, what's his name?
You got it,
Okay.
Derek
the
Jeter.
drama, that's about personal stuff. The actual game itself, though, in my opinion, is pretty tough to watch.
Yeah, I think Denny's hates baseball just like you do. And I've kind of, I'm from a baseball background, I've grown to kind of hate it.
Weirdly, though, I like baseball movies.
Yes.
Again, it hits on a different emotional level than the actual game of baseball.
When's the last time you seen a baseball movie, Virginia?
Oh my gosh.
League of Their Own?
League of Their Own, yeah.
And you didn't know that was a real story.
I didn't even know that.
Really?
Get you some Field of Dreams, dog.
Is that you build it, it will come?
Oh, you had to have seen that movie, Virginia, no?
I haven't seen it.
Wow.
I just know all the quotes from Jaybird saying them.
I would have bet my life that she didn't see that movie.
I hear
That's
ya.
so.
No.
You would like that movie though. It's a good movie. It's about the father and son.
It's
and
not necessarily...
She'd hate it. What am I talking about? She hates men. She hates men. What
There
am I
is a lot of
talking
men
about?
in that.
No, there's a lot of men.
Looking back.
Another baseball movie she wouldn't like, 8 Men Out.
Oh, gosh.
A lot of men.
I don't hate all men. I just hate the annoying baseball ones.
Oh, well, jeez.
She hates me, Denny's. I'm an annoying baseball man. All right, no more baseball. People get real pissy about that.
If you could pick the music at WRMF, what kind of music would you pick? And what specifically would you add?
We got one song to add in the
Yeah.
rotation. Let's say we get to add one song in the rotation for 3 solid months. Kind of like how you hear the Harry Styles song all the time. You get to now put whatever you want in RMF rotation.
Oh, wow.
What do you go with?
I guess, I don't know. I'm a fan of alternative rock, kind of like Kev is, I would probably pick an older, I would rotate into some alternative rock. I wonder if that's making a comeback. I feel like there's a group out there that still likes rock music.
I kind of feel like, so if you cover the rock, I feel like the world needs to get Crossroads from Bone Thugs and Harmony in rotation.
Early 90s hip hop is another one I feel like needs to come back. Not that I don't think it's...
And who do we miss, Denny's? Uncle Charles, y'all.
I miss my Uncle Charles.
We miss our Uncle Charles. Virginia, what terrible song are you going to put in?
Well, I was just going to say that there are so many songs that we play now because of TikTok. We've got one coming up next, actually.
Is that your answer?
Yeah. I love it when I see a song on TikTok and I'm like, oh, that's a cool song. People are dancing to it. And then a month later, you hear it on the radio. TikTok is a kingmaker.
Well, think about movies. Movie soundtracks used to be the bomb. People would buy soundtracks for movies because you get exclusive tracks on it. TikTok's kind of taken over that role because nobody cares about movie soundtracks anymore.
You're right.
It's weird.
It's filled that void. It's shifted to a new medium now that we get music from.
What would be better to put in the rotation? Crossroads or give me that donkey butt and them big old legs. I ain't too proud to obey.
That's fun too.
That would be for 3 months. You just hear that it's in the rotation. Do we make that a hit again in South Florida? Absolutely not.
You can argue.
I don't know. Christian Wilkins was trying to bring it back.
That type of the booty rap.
Yes, we went to the Dolphins practice at the new facility, which is gorgeous, by the way. This thing is tricked out.
All right.
What a great fan experience. If you haven't done their practice, you have to go see this. But if you are the player of the week, you get to pick the next week's music. So it's your whole entire playlist. Christian was coming with like the Doo-Doo Browns and the Rump Shakers and all the fun stuff. So I think we should turn over all radio station programming to Christian Wilkins from the Dolphins.
I'm so down.
Well, you
Whatever.
can feel old music coming back in style.
Totally.
That new Lizzo track sounds like a song from the 80s.
It does.
So 90s hip hop, I feel is going to come back. That booty shaking music, I feel is going to be a new crunk style.
Kitty.
Get your booty ready. Get your booty ready.
Kitty was my cut, man. That brings out the sorority girl in me. I want to get on the dance floor. I want to get on the bar when Here Kitty comes on. Do you guys even remember that song?
Yes.
Kitty.
Oh, kitty.
Oh,
Don't
yeah.
pretend it's so savannah. Oh, I want to get that kitty.
They all had the same hip hop beat, which made them you just want to dance.
It's the same as give me that big old butt and them legs. I ain't too proud to beg.
Someone is challenging you, Denny's, about the soundtrack comment. Lefty in the chat room says, nobody cares about soundtracks, huh? Kate Bush, Running Up That Hill, Metallica, all charts again because of the Stranger Things soundtrack.
Yeah, the TV soundtrack.
Rebuttal.
I think TV has taken over the media. I feel movies have really dropped off. It's all TV shows now. All the companies now are putting all their money in television shows.
TV and TikTok.
But you're right, though. But think about with the Top Gun. Tom Cruise is all over the place going, Lady Gaga's song is the heartbeat of the...
It still didn't go off.
Did it go? I don't know if it did.
Running Up the Hill went off.
Running Up the Hill did go off.
They're putting way more money into TV shows. You get way more bang for your buck out of them, too, because you can binge them. That's become a new thing. People love binging. It used to be a guilty thing. People didn't admit they binged back in the day.
Isn't this nice, Danny? You just give your opinion, let Suits handle all the phone calls.
I feel the power. I can feel the power of it.
All right, one final question and we're done. Who's the most annoying cartoon character of all time?
Can we do Winnie the Pooh as a cartoon? No, not Pooh. I'm saying Winnie Pooh, the John.
That counts as a cartoon.
Yeah.
I want to go after Eeyore.
Eeyore was annoying. Yeah, so depressed.
In a quick second, it's Piglet. I clearly have a problem with the House of Pooh corner.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan.
Eeyore's annoying, dog. Always bringing it down.
He is. He needs to turn it around,
And
get on
Rabbit's
some
not that
Prozac,
cool.
do something.
Rabbit's on cocaine.
I'm not a big fan of Rabbit either, or the owl.
Owl's a know-it-all.
Do you guys just hate Winnie the Pooh?
I hate Winnie the Pooh. Christopher Robin's creepy. I think the original story he hated Pooh.
I think Christopher Robin's the real person hated Winnie the Pooh.
Hashtag cancel Winnie the Pooh.
If you really kind of look into the background of Pooh, it ain't that great.
And he's not wearing pants. I mean, come
I
on.
mean, hashtag me Pooh.
I don't think we can top that one.
We have more KVJ on deck for you. If you're wondering why it's just us, the VJD show, Kevin's not here. He's gone up to Chicago because he's got to make a presentation to like all the important corporate guys today.
Well, I don't know. If you read our chat room, a lot of rumors flying around why Kevin's gone. I'm going to read a few here.
All right.
John Randazzo says he had some bad food and has explosive diarrhea.
I like that one.
Okay, let's get that out there. Angie from Hollywood said Kev got laid last night. He's in the hospital recovering from the shock.
That one is not believable.
Grant says him and the Queen went to Chicago for a swingers convention.
Okay.
Not believable as well.
But wouldn't that be awesome?
If you found that out, yeah.
No,
If I found out that they went to Chicago and they swung, I would be like, what?
I think it'd be more awesome that he just got laid normally. You think the swinging would be? You think that'd be awesome, or
I just want him to be touched.
Yeah, you're right. Look, if everyone's into it, I don't know.
Yeah, if the queen is into swinging, I say swing away.
And then Jay Spade says he went to the first moon flight for regular people. That's the most believable one out of all of them.
He went back to the mothership.
He's back to the mothership. You guys want to do a round of which is worse?
Oh,
Sure.
geez. All right.
What do you think is worse between these two scenarios? Sleeping with an ex you can't stand,
Oh, that's pretty bad.
or having the worst case of blue balls while laying with the person you love? You're laying with him, Dennys. You can't
But
do
you
anything
can't
about it.
ever do
What would
anything.
be worse? Probably for you, Virginia, is
I'll take the blue balls because I don't know what that feels like, but I certainly have no interest in hooking up with my ex.
yeah, I don't see that going well
I
at
think
all.
that's the worst.
That turns my stomach.
What's the female version of BBs?
Is it blue boobs?
Blue boobs?
Boobs? I don't know if that's it.
Blue beef? I don't know.
Oh, we gotta stop. Because Dennys present.
Don't ask me provocative questions because you know I'll answer.
What do you think, Dennys?
The female version of it?
No.
Or, all right.
What's your
I would say laying with... The other one, you love the person, so you're surrounded by love despite the fact you can't do anything about it. The other one, you're with somebody you hate. So,
Right.
I mean, it's way worse.
Always surround yourself with love and don't talk to your exes. There's a reason they're your ex.
Exactly.
Oh, there's somebody driving right now that totally slept with their ex last night, and they're going, "What have I done?" Do you
What
know
have you
what's
done?
going on?
Just remember the bad times.
Yes.
That's what I would say to you. Don't romanticize the good times and think about how you miss the way they used to touch you. No, remember when they, I don't know, kicked your cat or whatever they did to piss you off. Remember the bad times.
I'm curious to see how many people text in that go, "I hooked up with my ex last night, and I'm so regretting it."
Oh, yeah. Let's see how many people text in with that. I think that's a great question.
Give us the juice.
I agree with y'all. I think laying with the one you love, that's the one you got to go with, right?
Totally.
Absolutely.
All right. What out of these two scenarios, which worse? Singing a karaoke song while completely naked for a room full of every coworker you've ever worked with,
Oh, that one.
Terrible.
I don't even have to hear the other one.
or pooping in front of everyone you've ever had a crush on.
Oh, wow.
Pooping or singing naked?
And keep in mind, the singing naked is every coworker in the history of
Ever.
your work.
Even ones you hate.
Back in the day when you were younger, ones now, room full of them. Or every crush you've ever had, you got to poop in front of them.
Wow. That one I do not want.
I got to go naked, man.
Me too.
I think I poop.
You do?
What?
I do. I think I poop with the crushes because it's a smaller group and I don't have as many enemies in that group.
But you could crush the song, and then your coworkers have to just sit there and
Every
take it.
coworker I've ever worked with, that's going to be thousands of people, and I'm just naked singing karaoke? No.
Got to keep in mind, too, she's had some feuds with some people.
Yeah,
so
I
they're
hear ya.
going to be at the front row.
I've had epic explosions with people I work with.
I hear you. I hear you.
What are you going with, Dennys?
Not that one. I'm going to do the singing naked.
Naked. I got to go naked.
The other one's so personal, you know?
Sorry. I apologize to all my crushes, but y'all going to have to watch me poo.
All right, what would be worse, waking up in a stranger's trunk
Oh,
or
wow.
waking up in a lion's den?
Oh, wow.
See, I feel like I've watched enough TikToks on how to get out of a trunk that I could maybe navigate that better.
I didn't finish. It's a trunk from the 1960s. You can't get out of it. They were made to build. They were made to last back then.
Well, I'm popping out the tail light. They're easier to pop out on those older cars.
Okay.
Kick the tail and then stick your arm out and wave.
Yep, that's what I would do.
You were also bound and gagged, so I didn't add that in there.
I also watched a TikTok about how to get out of binding and gagging.
I would love to see a video. Let me tie you up. And let's
This
see.
is turning into some kink. Uh-oh. Now I'm in his world.
let me tie you up. Let's see if you
I
get out.
watched this chick get out of duct tape. Now, I don't know about rope, but I watched her get out of duct tape, and I was like, this is a good life skill.
So is it something about when you're being tied, you hold your hands in a certain way so you can create a little bit of air?
It's what you do with your hands and your elbows and how you can release the tape if you know what you're doing. It's how you hold your hands and what you do.
What do you go with, Dennys? A lion den or trunk in the car of a stranger?
I'd probably take trunk for the same type of you could possibly escape. The lion, if you're in a lion's den, eventually that lion's going to get hungry. I have no defense against lions.
See, I'm just as insane as Virginia because I feel like I could be in the lion's den and talk the lion down and have the lion be on my side.
Have you ever been to Lion Country Safari?
Lions are huge.
All the animals they got out there, the ones that they have 87 fences around are the lions.
Yeah.
They have electrified fence. They put electric current in these things in the ground so that the
Yeah.
lions can't leave. Lions are badass.
I hear you. So are serial killers.
You're just a walking ribeye.
I'm just saying, they say once you get in the trunk and you're bound and gagged, it's, I don't know. I hear you.
I wonder if that's a social media trend now with the how to escape terrible situations.
It is.
Because
It
I
is.
found one where how to escape if you're buried alive. I watched the entire thing just because I have that fear.
What do you do?
So it's so odd. When you get in there, you only have a certain amount of time until you run out of oxygen. But when they first bury you, the sand is soft on you because it hasn't settled. There's been no rain. So they say what you're supposed to do is keep pushing right where you are, and you want to try to loosen because the coffins aren't really hammered in that tight. The nails don't go that deep. You want to try to break the top part of it and then slide your knees up, and you want to sit up in an L position eventually. You want to push it so that there's enough, all the sand will fall around you, and as the sand falls, you push it down towards your feet. Eventually, you can then pry the opening up.
But Denny's, when they bury you alive, they don't put you in a coffin.
I was just going to say that.
They make you dig your own hole.
And then they...
And then they kick you in it. So you don't get
if
a
you can
coffin.
but escaping without a coffin's easier. The coffin's what makes it tough.
But Virginia's right though. The guy burying you is not going to put you in a coffin. He's going to try to dig you 6 feet.
He's not going to be like, are you comfortable?
But I'm saying, if I have no coffin, I'm totally escaping.
You need a pillow.
I'm just saying, it was a fear of mine. If I get buried alive,
I'm
love it. escaping.
I don't think I retained anything you said, but I do love it. So,
And I kind of want to go to the beach and try it out.
We should give it a shot.
is it bad? I want to try all these things. I want to be in a lion's den so bad,
I can get you in a predator's trunk.
and I can get you in a lion's den. Denny,
get
I want to learn more.
escaping.
I want to learn more about it.
KVJ, we're known for really bad ideas.
I just noticed a trend with people how to escape these horrible situations that are going on the internet.
All right, which would be worse in this scenario? Finding out you've been a robot your entire life. You cut your arm, Virginia, and wires come out. You have to deal with that you're a robot. Or you find out on your 50th birthday that you are a werewolf, and you're going to probably eat people now.
I would much rather be a werewolf than a robot.
Damn.
I think werewolf kind of sounds exciting.
But you're going to murder people. You have to know you're going to bed.
Good. I got
But
a list.
you don't remember it.
I got a list of ex-coworkers. I'm ready.
It don't work that way. Tell them that's not how werewolves work, Denny's.
Werewolves can pick who they murder.
They kind of just the spirit takes over.
Denny's. Virginia knows nothing about werewolves.
You lose control. I think they black out. They lose control. They go on a killing spree, and then they wake up in a
I
farm.
would be a werewolf that like keeps it together and is functional.
Virginia's talking about Teen Wolf right now.
some sort of high society werewolf.
Virginia's gonna play basketball. No,
I'm gonna
man.
surf on cars.
It ain't like that, dog. I'm sorry, but wolves are gonna eat the innocent. That's what they do. And then they come to and go, "What have I done?" That's the curse of being the werewolf.
I don't know. I feel like I could control it.
You need to watch Monster Squad.
That sounds
In
awful.
fact-
It's a realistic depiction of monsters.
In fact, kids, Google the movie Monster Squad.
I don't know. There's one line in there I feel like is almost PG-13-ish.
Uh-oh.
In fact, don't listen to any recommendations. I don't have kids. I think kids can watch Goodfellas. I don't know.
Well, you watched murder mysteries when you were 6.
All right, last one right here. What would be... maybe we shouldn't ask that. That might be a podcast question. Yeah, I'm going to back out on that one. That might be a podcast question.
A little too risque.
Yeah, but good job. You guys were the Dennys with the burial
No,
stuff.
I'm just saying, I've seen a lot of TikToks and videos now about how to escape these dangerous situations. It seems to be a new trend. I'm just saying. Although somebody did text in that somebody in Stewart, there was a dune collapse and it buried him alive.
Dennys, that's Virginia's job to make it very depressing.
I'm just saying, I guess it's not as easy to swim out of sand as I thought.
The other thing I was going to ask too, it was quicksand. Is quicksand like how it is in the movies? If you fall into quicksand, is it lights out, or can you get out of that stuff? Because when you fall in the movie, it goes quick, and you fall in, and you see the fingers go down.
I don't think it's like that. I think it's a little bit slower.
So if the witch fell into the quicksand, we would be able to get her out pretty.
I think a lot of the quicksand is based on how much shifting you do while in it. That's how far you sink. So if you hold, I
I'm
think
real shifty.
The lesson I think is to stand there and wait till somebody possibly comes by.
But what happens if they don't, Dennys?
I think then every movement you make is going to shift you downward.
I feel like I'm loud enough. If anybody's in the vicinity, they gonna hear me.
Oh, a bobcat is going to hear you and just eat your head.
As I'm going down.
You reach up and it bites your hand.
The thing is, though, it would bite her head off and she'd still be talking.
And then they put me in a coffin.
That bobcat came from the bushes, Cam.
It's the KVJ Dirt of the Day. It's the KVJ Dirt of the Day. Virginia, take it away, cause you know we need that Dirt of the Day.
Well, Kanye West, he certainly is an interesting cat. He is now making a mint. Let me just say that first. So if you and I don't understand it, maybe we just don't get it and we're on the outside of genius and he's on the inside. His new Yeezy line is, you can't debate the money. It's there. He makes it.
Yes.
He's now selling it out of large trash bags with Gap. So if you walk into a Gap, you will see, instead of tables with all of the Yeezy stuff on it, you will see giant trash bags with neatly folded but piles of, like, rather than hangers or anything, like there's piles of merchandise in trash bags.
Why? Is it just because it'll sell no matter what?
I guess Kanye said when he saw his clothes on hangers in Gap, he got mad and told everybody that he wants it to be in trash bags. And there's a picture, I'm looking at it. It's a bunch of trash bags in the middle, like industrial sized trash bags in the middle of the floor in Gap. And all the clothes are just piled in it. And I guess you dig through it like a rummage sale.
It must be that we're talking about it. Because Kanye put it in trash bags. It's so odd that everyone's going to talk about it, and then the Yeezys are just going to fly off the shelves now.
I think you're right.
It has to be the ultimate tactic.
Is genius one of those words that we have to rethink? Because is it genius though? I'm asking a question. I'm not trying to be cute. If everyone's talking about it,
Well, you are cute.
just because people are talking about it, does that make it genius?
I think it does. I think that is the definition of thinking outside the box. And he sells so much of this Yeezy stuff because it is so like, wait, what?
Oh, thinking outside of the bag. Yes, I get it. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess the name of the game now is just get people talking about it.
But that's my question. Once you get people talking about it, whether it's a good idea or a bad idea, does that make you genius?
If it translates to sales, yes.
So I'd say it makes you a business genius, but maybe not a genius outside of that, genre.
I mean, if it is making money and people are doing it and people are talking,
pull up the numbers.
Oh yeah,
Yeezy sales
ridiculous.
are
It is.
ridiculous.
It might be the most expensive, best-selling shoes and clothing there is.
and just because you don't get it and his approach, that doesn't make it not genius.
You're right.
I have friends that when new shoes launch, they're already waiting for it. They're there to get it on day one. And
He's right.
And then to sell it.
The problem is, even if Kanye has a good idea, if you don't like Kanye, it's going to be tough for you to give up any kind of genius status. It's just not. He's too polarizing.
Well, sometimes I look at his stuff and I think, okay, that's wonky. I don't get it. But then with these trash bags in the Gap, I kind of get it. I mean, I'm looking at a picture of it, and it's so different. It's so what the F? It's so not the norm, not the standard. I can see why this is very attractive to younger people.
Well, imagine you're in the store to buy Yeezys and you see them for the first time in a trash bag. You put that on social media. You're like, what is
the
happening?
hell?
This is how Kanye's selling his new product. Now that's on social media, tagged with Yeezy. Millions of people see it.
Almost like a treasure hunt, Denny's.
It just
A modern day Willy Wonka. I don't know. The dirt's got me.
clearly he's good at getting hype built up around him. 'Cause he's done it for years.
He knows how to get the hype. And, is he crazy? Crazy like a fox? Crazy and tricked us all? Like, we all think he's crazy, but is it all just him?
All right, let's take a bunch of KVJ shirts, put them in a trash bag. Let's start doing that around town. Get some hype around us.
We don't have any.
I know we don't. I don't even think we.
The last time we did one of those beach cleanups, we promised everybody a shirt. All these people came looking for a shirt, and there was no shirts.
I'm not even sure we have a budget for trash bags.
I have a couple at my house.
That's a real statement, y'all. All right, Virginia, on to your next story.
Well, the hits keep coming for Britney Spears' first husband, Jason Alexander. Remember, he was the guy that went to Britney's house on the day of the wedding and tried to crash it. But dummy got there so early, they were still setting up like the floral arrangements. Like, if you're trying to get there and be like, I object, you missed that by about 7 hours. So anyway, he served his time for crashing the wedding, but now he's facing felony charges for another crime that he did. I guess he stole jewelry. And with all the arrest warrants and lights that have been shown on him recently, they're going to make him serve the time for buying and receiving stolen property of some bracelet that he took. So I don't think he's going to be getting out.
How random.
How random is right. And then finally here, I know you guys were hanging on every word when we talked about Machine Gun Kelly and Megan Fox.
Twin Flames?
The Twin Flames. There was some drama a few weeks ago because she kind of pulled her hand away from his on the red carpet like she was getting annoyed with him. And there was breakup rumors, but apparently they have not called it quits. They're still together.
You always got to watch that couple who has to shout it from the mountaintops about how much they love each other in the beginning.
We're twin flames, Jay-Bird.
I mean, what is that level? Oh my gosh, Daddy, she completes everything of me.
I must get a tattoo of her. Oh, wait, we broke up.
I mean, the inking, I don't know.
A lot of inking.
I feel like you got to be with somebody for like 5 years before you ink their name on you.
Oh, jeez.
I agree.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you think that one's going to last?
They've been going strong for over a year now, Dennys. I don't know.
I remember where I was when Kim K and, did
Pete
the
Davidson
split.
split.
Yeah, so, I mean.
My girl is a lawyer. I love that people are like giving suggestions to what he should do to cover that tattoo. My favorite one is my squirrel is a lawyer. And then you put a little squirrel with a briefcase.
I remember where we were at. We were in, I believe, were we in Columbus, Ohio?
Yeah, we were at a hotel.
We were downstairs, and everyone's getting breakfast. I just hear Dennys from the distance. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. Kim K and Pete Davidson broke up.
I did the same thing. I was like, oh my gosh, Kim K and Pete Davidson. Let me call Dennys.
Yeah. I go, Dennys, did you just say what I think you just said as you're getting cereal?
Breaking news.
Dennys loves the dirt. This just in. And that's what's going on.
It's time for viral audio.
So how's your kids? How's your wife?
Double rainbow all the way across the sky.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Do you know this Kristen Chenoweth with? What is
Kristen
it?
Chenoweth, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, dude, she's like a Broadway legend.
I love Kristen
who
Chenoweth.
has managed to cross over into mainstream. She's done movies and she's
Acting.
done television, and she was on that show Pushing Daisies that
She
I loved.
was, yes. With Lee Pace.
So you guys have heard of her?
We are big Kristen. I know everything about her personal life. I'm fascinated.
Well, she was just on the Family Feud, and you know how they always have those
Celebrity Family Feud.
Family Feud. And you
I
know
watched it.
Those viral clips where they say something crazy. Oh, this one's going viral. But I was trying to figure out what she says, and it's bleeped out, and it didn't have it in the first article. And I tried to Google it. It wasn't in the second one. So try to help me out. What does she say here?
Okay.
We asked 100 women, after the lips, what's your favorite part of a man to kiss? Kristen.
Rhymes with
Wow. Right out the gate.
Sorry,
I mean,
I'm a good Christian girl. Forgive me.
It rhymes with it. Welcome to Sunday Night TV, folks.
So it rhymes with it. So she must have said a bad word.
Chat room's got to know the answer to this. What did she say?
Did they play? Because they don't play that live. It had to be bleeped from the jump, right?
It was.
But she's saying it rhymes with this, and I thought, was it Venus?
Oh.
But why would they bleep out the word Venus?
But it's the other word that sounds like Venus.
That's what I'm saying. But she said it rhymes with.
Maybe just because it's Sunday night, they didn't want
Well, this was taped.
even the medical term.
This was taped a while ago because if you see on the show, the dude that she was seeing is on there. I think he was her fiance, and they have since broke up. So this was taped a minute ago because she's single again.
Some people are texting in saying she said the word heinous. She said heinous, but she's.
Her answer was
Heinous? Yeah. Oh, man. Okay, now that makes sense to me.
I like her even more.
That's hilarious.
To have the cojones to say that on Celebrity Family Feud, you get it.
It rhymes with heinous?
I think that's why they bleeped it out, because they didn't want people making the comparison.
That's amazing.
I love her.
There's a story. A toddler in Georgia found a missing elderly woman lying near his home while playing with bubbles in their backyard. The woman was 82 years old. She was alive but disorientated, and the kid just found her. And here's the clip of them talking about it, Dennys.
We were coming this way. This is kind of where the bubbles went. And I went over there and I was like, "What do you see, buddy?" And he pointed and he said, "Feet." And that's where she was laying.
We pulled out every resource that we thought we needed, but it was a little boy.
It took a child that was being worked by God.
Angel to angel.
They were looking for her. Everyone was looking for. No one could find her. And this little boy playing with the bubbles ended up finding her.
That's amazing.
That's cool.
Pretty cool story, right? Do we hit him again, Dennys, with some of that sweet-sounding Corey Feldman? Corey Feldman's got a new song, y'all. You know, we got
the later audience
Well,
now.
in case you missed it earlier, this is the greatness that you get to hear twice.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. The earlier 6 o'clock audience was not feeling it. But you're right. Different audience, maybe they like it now.
The sun's
Dennys.
out now.
They
Let's
were
see.
cursing at us.
It was at 7,000 views. This thing just dropped, by the way.
Oh, because I hadn't heard it yet. When you sent it to me, I listened to it. I was very excited.
We get excited for this.
We're Corey Feldman fans. And not for the reason that you think we are.
Look, I think he's a good actor. I love his movies. No, you can't take away from his movies.
Yeah, it's just his music.
I won't let nothing take you away. I promise you, I'm gonna be loving you for eternity. I'm in for you, no matter what you're going through. I promise you, if there's a storm, I'll be the one.
What are people saying? That's enough. I had heard people had enough.
Corey, take the witch's advice and just don't read the comments.
Don't read the comments, baby.
Marissa said, "Yep, still bad at 8:30."
Well, it's almost like the drum beat he picked for that song doesn't fit the guitar.
It doesn't. It's off. All of his songs are off beat for
And
some reason.
he's off mic. He's not standing next to the microphone.
And I'm not trying to be a hater. I'm really not.
Well, no, because originally we were Corey Feldman lovers.
I think we're trying to be a helper.
Yeah, I did. But when he does a new song, I feel like the world does have to. He's putting it out there, man. You know.
Yeah, and I think he feels what he's writing. It's just very odd that the drum beat would be offbeat like that.
And it makes the drummer sound like he doesn't know what he's doing. But I feel like Corey let's do this here when the drummer was out of the room to mess it up.
Well, on the second half of the chorus, it opens up to a regular drum beat, and I think it sounds better than the first part.
What are we doing? We're analyzing it.
Let's make our beat offbeat.
Yeah.
This is not the first time we've had this conversation. And that's what's going on in your viral audio. I love me some Avril.
I do too. I forgot about that song.
I like a lot of Avril songs.
I know. Skater Boy is my jam.
I used to make fun of that song, but
I mean, it's catchy.
I do put it on at times.
It's so good.
I don't care about that. Everyone's got guilty pleasure songs.
That's the song that you put on and dance around in your panties while you're getting dressed for going out. Am I right, girls?
Absolutely.
Girl, you have no idea how right you are. She had the other one too, or gosh, I can't think of it. It's the big one. Me and you loved it. If you say it, come on, help me out. She plays the guitar on it. She sings.
Dude, I drink a lot. I have no brain cells left. What song? I'll Google it. Top Avril hits, because now we got to know.
Love It When You Hate Me.
Nope.
Girlfriend.
That's a jam, but no.
What the Hell?
Nope.
Complicated, obviously. When You're Gone.
That might be it.
When You're Gone.
Look, I'm all about some Avril. I can't sing that high because she sings really high, but when I'm in the car, I definitely don't care.
Well, she was crushing it, and I gotta say, I think the Lyme disease probably slowed the whole thing down, right?
You're probably right. And then she also had that really bad go on Ashton Kutcher's show, the MTV Bum Rush.
But that one, I don't think that hurt her. I think she really was messed up from the Lyme disease, and I think that can take you out, y'all.
Well, what's scary about that is that can easily happen to anyone.
That's what it is. So much for my happy ending.
Oh, yeah.
That's my
R.I.P.,
cut,
sorry.
man. That is a jam. All right. A little memory lane.
I love me some Avril.
Well, Virginia, people love hearing you give advice.
Uh-oh.
A new segment called What Would Virginia Do?
Oh, boy.
And you're going to give your opinion on. People want to know what you would do in these.
This is where you get me canceled?
No. But I do want people to call in if they disagree with you. Don't type it in. Call it in if you really disagree with the witch. Get out
All right.
there.
Let me try not to sound too crazy. Try not to sound too crazy.
All right. What would Virginia do? Let's see here. Someone wants to know, what would you do because their daughter wants to get a mohawk?
How old is she?
I want to see how Virginia would handle the situation. My 13-year-old daughter wants to get a mohawk. We aren't talking about a cutesy type of mohawk. She wants a hardcore, balls-to-the-wall mohawk. I hate this idea. I think it's going to look awful, but I don't want to drive a wedge between our relationship. My oldest daughter is getting married in 2 months, and I really don't want my youngest daughter rocking a crazy-looking mohawk in the wedding pictures. My husband 100% is against the mohawk idea, but says it's up to me and my daughter how we want to handle it. What would Virginia do?
So I go through this with Magnolia because we just went through this. She wanted to dye her whole head bleach blonde. And I was like, please don't. I don't want you to. I voice my opinion. And then I tell them, it's your head. It's your choice. But I don't want you to think that I think it's a good idea because I don't.
So if Mags was 12 or 13, she said, Mom, I want a mohawk. You let her get the mohawk.
I would tell her I don't like it if I don't like it. But then it's her choice. It's her hair. Pick your battles with your teenagers. There's going to be things
There's going
to be a lot of things that you're going to fight with your teenagers about. I just don't think hairstyle is one of the things that you should dig your heels in on. Let them express themselves through their hair because there'll be plenty of other stuff to fight about.
Some people are saying dad dumping it on the mom, not cool. Or is he just saying, look, I gave my opinion. I don't want to get involved. I'm the man, you're the mom, you guys do. Are you annoyed with the husband for being that way? If Panda goes, Virginia, I don't want to get involved. I gave you my opinion. Y'all figure it out.
I don't like wishy-washy. I'll tell you that. Have an opinion.
Pick a side.
State it. Put it out there, and then give the child the freedom to do what they want. So I think the husband needs to also state his opinion to his daughter. You do it rationally. You don't do it emotionally or angrily.
Mm-hmm.
You tell them, dealing in fact only, what you think about the mohawk, why you don't want them to have it, the upcoming wedding, the old people in our family are going to be there. They're not going to understand the mohawk. They're going to think you lost your mind and we lost our mind. Like, give all the factual reasons why you think the mohawk is bad, and then let the kid make their own decision.
Isn't it funny? When I was a kid, the mohawk was... If you had a mohawk, you were in a gang in New York. You were in some type of street gang in New York. You loved painting on walls and subways.
My boyfriend, when I was 15, had a mohawk. And here's the thing about the mohawk. You don't always have to rock a mohawk. Mm-hmm. If you style it to be a mohawk, it's a mohawk. But if you just wear it down flat, it's shaved on one side and it's a comb over, and it's not always a mohawk.
It's true.
So you don't have to be so aggressive with it unless you put that gel or paste or whatever in it to make it stand straight up.
All right, Dennys, do you feel Virginia answered the question the right way? Are people outraged?
I think Virginia's right. There's gonna be I can imagine, just being a troubled teen myself, there's a lot of things that the parents are gonna have to deal with. I found though, because I dyed my hair a lot, I got whatever haircut I wanted, and same type of thing. My parents would be, I don't know if that's great, but if you want to do it, do it. I think as a kid, you don't have much control in your life because you're still under your parents' roof.
Sure.
And it's an easy way to express yourself. I think clothing and styling your hair. So I think it's part of the teen expression phase. It's not damaging anything, and it'll grow back out, and maybe they'll hate it. And
Did your
never do it
mom
again.
ever say, "I hate your hair, Dennys"?
Oh, I used to dye my hair green.
Because he was a punk rocker like Green Day.
Did Carol get down with the green?
She did not like green. She did not like that blue-black where it's black indoors. You walk outside and it's blue. She did not like any of those. She did not like platinum blonde.
It was a different time, man. Haircut. I mean, growing up as a kid, I never understood the big deal about haircuts. And even in baseball, you'd see that. You were never allowed to, on certain teams, you weren't allowed to have long hair.
Well, so-
how does that affect you on how to hit a baseball?
I think from our generation onward, and each one sequentially, that became less of a big deal.
Right.
It's just generationally.
It's an older thing.
It
yeah.
really is.
Tattoos, too.
Long hair and all, the things with the hair and all that. Tattoos. It is very old school.
I got yelled at my first tattoo because my parents couldn't believe it that I went out and got one.
What was your first tattoo?
The swinger tattoo on my butt. I got it when I was 17. But I got it when I was 17 from a friend who opened up a tattoo shop. So
It says swinger?
Yes, it does.
Oh, people want to know, speaking of the whole shaved head kind of a thing and haircuts, did Jen ever shave her head?
She hasn't. So she's still in between.
And the reason why we bring that up was because Dennys wasn't a fan of that.
She wanted to, so she did it a long time ago. I mean, so when I met Jen, she always was doing crazy things with her hair. So it's part of her personality, and it's not anything I'm trying to hinder. But I just made the point, kind of like Virginia said earlier, all you can do is express your feelings on something, and then you give them the ability to do it or not. And then I'd hold no animosity on which decision she makes. But I let her know that I personally think it looks nice long. And for a long time, she's had experimental haircuts. So to see a regular haircut is actually experimental compared to the haircut she typically has. And I've grown acclimated to it, a little bit fond of it. And so when she proposed that she wanted to shave half her head, I just expressed to her, I do happen to like it when it's longer. I just think it looks nice.
And I think that's a fair thing. Spouses should be able to tell each other that and be okay and then make their decision, keeping their spouse's feelings in mind.
When Panda got the neck tat, you guys discussed it before, or did he just come home with the neck tat?
Oh, no, we discussed it. I told him
remember.
I didn't want him to do it, and he was pissed at me, so he did it anyway.
He wants to express himself, bro.
It was a retaliatory tat.
I remember when you brought that on air.
I don't think it was a retaliatory thing.
100%. He was pissed at me when he got that tat.
But he wanted the tat.
He wanted it.
But
Sure.
I wouldn't say he was retaliating. He already wanted it, and you probably
I think
did.
he already wanted it.
My question to you, Virginia, is what did you do?
Oh, I mean, what didn't I do?
To make him want to
You've seen my act. I'm sure I drank too much and acted like a giant maniac.
But you're over that. You're over the hatred with the tat. You've learned to love it.
No,
You're holding on to that grudge.
I don't love it.
What if you got another one on the other side?
Matching neck tats.
At this point, I'm not going to say nothing because it obviously doesn't matter what I think.
Okay, he gets a Tyson face tat.
Well,
can
I mean-
can you still make love to him?
It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard not to see the tat.
That's a big difference, though, right?
Yeah,
that changes your physical appearance.
You come home and Jen's got a Tyson tat on her face. Does your sex life change?
Yeah, I feel like that hurts things, right? Especially if it's out of nowhere. I mean,
I'm not going to be able to see anything else.
What?
That's all I'm going to see when I look at him.
if you get a whole sleeve on your shoulder, I would personally not get that. But if I saw that, it doesn't offend me. But a face, I mean, you have no choice. That's your bread and butter. That's what you're
Face is
You're
different.
marrying, yeah.
I'm glad we were bringing all this up because I don't know if you. I mean, I'm sure you guys are aware of this. It's Romance Awareness Month.
No, I didn't know
You
that.
didn't know that.
Jeez,
What?
I didn't get
How
the
did-
memo.
Shouldn't that be February?
How did
Yeah,
this
good call.
How did this single guy know that? You people who are in love don't.
August.
Well, we're gonna ask some romance awareness questions with you guys. I want to pick you guys' brain. Do we have time, Danny? Do you want to come back to
Let's
this?
go into a commercial, and then I'd love to come back to this topic.
Can we pick yours too?
Pick apart. Bring it on.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll ask you guys questions. You guys ask me questions.
I love it.
I got 5. I want to really want to get deep.
All right.
During Romance Awareness Month.
All right. Well, I'm excited for it.
Yes. It is Romance Awareness Month.
Denny's, get over here and hold him.
I'm your host, Dr. Lovebird. It's good to hear you, good to see you, good to smell you.
I'm officially creeped out.
I can't believe you guys didn't know it's Romance Awareness Month.
I did not. I mean, I celebrate every weekend, though.
It's one of those goofy holidays where nobody knows if you know how they're doing. Every day is a new.
Totally.
They're doing the same thing with month holidays as well. They're getting pretty goofy, Denny's.
It's annoying.
Well, it's weird that they picked August. Is there some sort of tie to that?
The heat, Denny's, the heat.
Oh, yeah.
I thought Romance Awareness Month was Valentine's.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
But that's one day, y'all. This is the whole month.
Okay.
All right.
And it's always a good thing to kind of do a little, checklist. See if you're crushing it in the romance department. So I'm gonna ask you guys some questions. Honest. I want honest answers. You guys can ask me anything too.
Okay.
right,
Oh, yeah.
all
We will.
So currently, how is the romance in your life? Are you? Would you say you're happy right now, Virginia, with you and Panda, or does Panda need to do better, or do you need to do better?
I think we could both do better. I think, we have a 7-year-old who immediately, it's like he's got some kind of radar. As soon as we start to have any kind of romantic moment, this kid gets like a bat signal and rushes in to alleviate any possible boners.
Any at all? So he's a major CB, is what you're saying.
Major. So we have to wait until we tire him out and he falls asleep. But that requires us staying up late, and we're getting old, and it's hard.
But let's take Rocco out of the equation, okay? I'm talking about Virginia and
we
Panda.
did. We took Rocco out of the equation on Saturday night. Rocco had a sleepover at Grandma's.
Ooh.
And so, yeah, we got busy before dinner.
That's the best way to do it, in my opinion.
Oh, you guys don't like moving around with a big belly full?
I never understood the theory.
full of food?
When people go out for Valentine's Day and they get a giant porterhouse steak and then they go home trying to get romantic, why would you ever do that?
Well, you can't, because then you're going to have meat farts.
Oh, yeah, and your stomach's going to be all full.
You're all sluggish. Oh, I'll take that big T-bone.
Oh,
Have
yeah.
a few of those meatballs.
I got a rib belly.
I'm all for before dinner.
I like before and after. Let's burn off some of these carbs, y'all. Let's burn off these meatballs.
So after, how do you find the energy?
I don't know. I think I'm set different than you. You're, and this is not a knock. I just don't think you have that carnal.
Well, all that carnal comes from new action. When you have the same action, it's not carnal like that.
And that's why I'm asking you. Okay, so what would you give between you and Panda, what's your romance grade?
I think we do a solid 7.5.
It's like a C. It's like a C
That's
plus.
a C, yeah.
He might say less because I think that, men seem to be a little bit more.
They want it more often.
Yeah.
Do you find yourself hornier when you are drinking? I don't see you ever getting horny when you're sober. I'm so sorry.
I apologize for not throwing it on you. Dan Schneider.
No. Am I off? Does Mama get a little bit more H when she's drinking?
Yeah. Mama gets a little bit more just all around the walls come down. Like, I do bad things. I act a little bit more wild and crazy.
Okay.
Yeah,
Experimental.
definitely. Yeah.
Well, let's turn the page over to Sweet Denny's. Yes.
So yeah, I'd say we're probably hovering at a B, and the only reason I say that is just because we recently got a dog, and it's a puppy, and I mean, I haven't had a puppy in so long.
Your puppy is my Rocco.
He's CBing you.
Same thing, yeah. It's just so a puppy. I feel like we have to take her out to pee every hour. It just, you have to. So you really get a short interval. And then in between, anytime you make any noise or anything, the dog runs up to see what's going on.
And we know you're a big moaner.
But even just the sounds of shuffling is enough.
Can you have relations with pets in the room?
See, there's where the conflict lies, because we've tried, and if you just lock eyes for a second, it ruins a lot of the moments.
You can't lock eyes, and there's certain times where you really do not want to lock eyes.
Or if you feel the dog licking your foot, is another real kill the moment type thing. Because you turn over and then you have to
going on?
Good girl, pet the dog.
I'm going down.
I'm
going down.
It's just rough, yeah. And then to get back into it, and there was another time we were trying. And this is shame on the people that knock at houses at 8:30 at night wanting to sell you stuff. But it was 8:30 at night.
Was it for an alarm system?
It was.
Yeah.
That's their trick. They do that when it's dark outside to scare you, and it's some kind of manipulation, psychological tactic.
It's a terrible strategy, because I know so many people that this has happened to, and it has made people hate that industry.
Well, they try to scare you when they talk to you, but yeah, so we go to bed early because my wife's a teacher and we have to get up early for the show. So if it is going to happen, it usually is between 7:30 and 8:30.
Okay,
right?
that's
all right. Okay,
love making hour.
So if you do see some fireworks going on around Dennys, there it is. You play that saxophone.
Now, do you bone in front of the shrimp?
No. Virginia.
You can't lock eyes with those shrimp.
Shrimp, cats, and dogs are all three things that will ruin a moment.
See, I'm a dog person. It doesn't bother me. The licking I wouldn't like. I would not like the licking. But if the dog's in the room, if Chewy was in the room and he looked up at me.
Chewing on a squeaky toy?
The bird's still going to keep going.
Chewy gives you a knuckle bump.
It's like, bro, bring it in.
Rest in peace, Chewy.
Give it to her.
But yeah, the squeaky toy ruins things. You have to give the dog something to distract them. So it's always a squeaky toy or one of those ropes.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
And the dog's throwing the rope on the bed, trying to get you to pull it. There's all sorts of things.
And you hope it's just the rope he's trying to pull.
Pull it. So but then that person knocking at the door, that was a completely ruined moment.
Not cool.
Because they're relentless. They knock, they wait about 4 minutes, and then they knock again. You think they left.
They know you're in there.
Well, yeah, because they see 2 cars outside.
I love seeing you come to life, Dennys, about all this. I didn't know any of this.
So all that kind of makes it tougher, but I mean, we just find ways. You have to, if you just take the dog out for a walk and she's tired, then it's easier because the dog's tired and laying there. And you can squeeze one in real quick.
So you're great overall. Virginia 7.5 for how you guys are currently right now romantic.
Pre-dog, it was much more often. I feel like it's definitely taken a dive post-dog. So I put it at a B, sliding possibly into C until this puppy grows up a little bit and we can get a little more time.
All right, what does a Virginia do to keep the romance alive? If you do see you guys struggling a little bit, is there something you do that you kind of turns on that oven for both of you? Yeah.
Throwing yeah at the end of it.
Dennys, give me some more of that saxophone.
Yeah.
Just thinking. Keep in mind, we are not on the podcast.
Right. That is that's very present in my thoughts.
Can you write it down? What does it rhyme with?
Be careful, because Chenoweth, remember?
You're right.
As long as it doesn't rhyme with heinous.
It's not heinous. I don't go for the heinous. That is not the place that I'm like, I must kiss it. No. But, I mean, I think most wives would tell you, all you have to do is just go over there and like get a little frisky and it's on, baby.
It's not. So that's really all you have to do with Panda. Even if Panda's annoyed with you, and
he's always annoyed with me.
But I'm talking about the Panda where he's riding a bicycle on a Sunday.
I think he can work through his annoyance.
He's like, fine.
Fine.
So even at the height of the most annoyed Panda's ever been with you, if you put your little witchy moves on him, it's going down.
I could try. if he's really annoyed, I wouldn't even try because I don't want those vibes around me. And sometimes I make him so mad that he just kind of wants to be away from me, and I can tell.
All right.
And then I just leave him alone. I would not try to go diddle him.
Denny's, anything to add onto this very hot topic?
Yeah.
Hey, do you go heinous?
No.
How do you? What do you do to keep it alive, there, Denny's?
So I just try. I feel there's a few things you can do around the house weekly that sets up hooking up easier. Meaning, through the week, if I see some dishes in the sink, I will just clean them. Jen will come home and see the dishes are done, and she's already in a better mood, right? Because she's had a busy day. I do little stuff like that throughout the week, and then when the weekend comes, I feel like I don't necessarily have to do anything to get it going.
Okay. She's already loving you.
Yeah, exactly.
And she wants to show you.
I think the women's love language is showing that you're fulfilling your need as a person in the household.
Mine is absolutely acts of service. There's a bunch of them you can pick from. Mine is acts of service. Most guys are affection and touch.
So we're easy.
If you come home, Panda's got the dishes done. He's got a basket full of booze and drugs. So thank you so much. He got the dishes done. He went out and got all my stuff.
Do we have a babysitter?
Babysitter's done. Oh, Panda's gonna get.
I mean, Panda might get 69.
Oh,
Should I go a bit? Just to be safe, I did.
Denny's had to dump it. I don't know the rules, man. I don't know if you can say that.
I did. I jumped it just to be safe.
I'm sure you can.
I'm so proud. You had to bleep me like they had to bleep Kristen Chenoweth on Celebrity Family Feud.
I think you can. I don't know if you. I don't know.
I think you can, but I don't think it was.
Well, like R. Kelly said, it's just a number.
All right.
Again, should I dump that?
I don't know, dog. She's her own woman.
Yeah, you're right.
I want to get us canceled.
All right.
But yeah, all of that stuff sets you up to win if you're trying to hook up. I feel like
true.
And that's how you would seduce your lover, pretty much.
Well, so it sets up the seduction much easier. So then all it takes is hey, what's going on tonight?
Okay, but let's break it down a little bit, though. You've done the dishes. You walk the dog. The house looks great. Jen's in a good mood.
Oh, yeah. She just gets out of the shower.
From the
week.
Whoa. Get us
Tackle her.
We need some. There it is. Now the floor is yours.
We're both clean because I walked the dog. I showered as well. It just sets it up. What do you got going on tonight? Not much. How about you? We can watch some TV. All right. We can snuggle on the couch. All right. See where that leads. And then you kind of start off with that. And then I think as things develop, kind of leads to the next step.
Snuggle, shake.
Shake it.
Denny's over here with the saxophone playing and his great storytelling. He's giving me a bone piece.
Oh.
It's different for married people and single people.
It is.
It's a completely different game.
I think people that are dating, like yourself, Jay Bird, I think the expectations are much lower to do anything special. Just buy dinner. Just buy dinner.
So you're saying in the beginning it's more. You don't have to try so hard because
the carnal is there. It's new. It's fresh.
I like this. Are we going long on this segment?
We are.
That's what she said.
We are going a little bit long.
Can you tell Kevin's not here today?
It's a little looser.
Just so we're doing this segment, just in case you just tuned in, it's Romance Awareness Month. And that's why we're getting real deep with the love.
And Kevin's away, so the mice will play.
Yeah, this sounds nothing like the show.
No.
Kevin had to go up to do like a professional radio thing in Chicago, and shockingly, we weren't invited.
It took me 2.5 hours to realize, oh, that's right, it's World Record Wednesday today. Oh, oops, I forgot.
Ow! There's a lot of dumbass criminals to talk about, baby. It's the whacked out news. People breaking the law. Ha, fighting in the nude. Ha, drunk people pooping in the street. Ha, it's the whacked out news. So many people on meth. Ow!
Ow, 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 ow.
All right. While Kevin is out, I will be doing the whacked out news for you fine people.
Now,
In Spanish.
Well, I'm going to do my best, Virginia, to not repeat any previously.
You know what happens?
I know.
Denny's gets called out because he'll do a story Kevin has done.
I mean,
And it's the new game now when Denny says whacked out news. Will he repeat the Kevin Ralston story?
And if he does, will he have to ride the shot collar?
I wonder if you guys you want to throw something at me. That's fine.
I'm just gonna say, just have a drink, chill out, have a buzz. No pain needed.
He can't drink. He's the Kevin right now.
That's true.
The person running the controls is not allowed to drink.
That's
we learned
true.
that the hard way.
Rules of smonials.
Well, so have you guys heard there was an intoxicated bear rescued after eating hallucinogenic honey in Turkey?
What?
Yes, the Turkish Ministry of Agriculture and Forestry said the bear was acting the fool downtown, being all crazy, and was reported. And I've actually done this on the Weird and Whatever podcast. I've talked about this honey. It's called Mad Honey. It's from bees in the local area. They collect pollen from a hallucinogenic plant that has a neurotoxin in it. And then the honey they produce from it causes people to hallucinate.
Wow.
Yeah, the bear was tripping balls, man.
Going crazy downtown.
Is there a video?
I think there was some video of it running downtown. Fortunately, the bear is in good health. He's back to normal, and he's been returned.
He says, I'm never dropping acid again.
Whoa, bro.
I didn't realize a lot of times these animals will eat something and they'll hallucinate or they'll eat too much.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes an eagle will eat too much and they can't fly. They'll try to fly. They'll eat so much meat. They go to fly like, I think I'm just gonna chill here for a while. And sometimes they have to help the eagle throw it up.
The eagle doesn't know when to say when at the meat buffet.
I think I'm part eagle.
Yeah, they have squirrels who find fermented berries and they'll eat it and get drunk. A lot of animals, if they find fermented fruits and stuff, will eat them and get drunk.
They like to get their party on.
Oh my gosh, they're texting their ex. Oh, yeah, I miss you so much.
It's Friday. They're like, yeah, put the feet up.
Hey, squirrel, come get that tail.
Keeping it in the drug tip, and I believe we have audio of this, and this is where we just were, Bird. A Columbus man found marijuana at the bottom of a bag of food he ordered from one of the delivery services.
Okay, I want you to listen to this guy. He sounds like he's traumatized from this.
He also doesn't sound very cool.
He does not sound cool. I thought the same thing. I go, this guy, I think wants to bring the guy down.
I think he does here.
You know, I was scared. Did this start with the driver or did this start in the restaurant that I ordered it from? Which makes me question, it's like, where are these drugs coming from?
Stop being a goober.
I think there's two clips, Dennys.
There is.
So if you thought he was annoying in that clip, Virginia, I think he doubled down.
He does.
He would give me my money back and refund me my order if I gave him my entire bag back, because he claimed that there was medicine in the bag for his friend that was to be used for medical reasons. I told him, no, sir, I can't give it back.
Teacher, you forgot to give homework out. You forgot to give everybody homework, teacher.
I've called the authorities. They'll be here momentarily. I'm going to have to issue a citizen's arrest and hold you until they arrive.
Oh, I'm gonna call HOA on you. Your grass is too tall.
Well, he did. He called the police and he complained to the company. I don't know if I can say it, but the delivery company.
You can say it. Play-Doh, dox them, Dennys. They deserve to be doxed.
So, yeah, he was a DoorDash driver, so you feel bad.
It's not DoorDash's fault if they have a rogue delivery person.
Nope. I'm calling the cops on you, you jerk.
If that happened to me, I would have pinched a nug and then gave it back to him. I would have been like, hey, that's all I found in there.
There's no way you don't leave with a piece of weed after that. Yeah, because the guy would have been, you guys both would have been cool with each other.
I would have kept the food. I would have taken one little nug and I would have given him back his bag.
We probably would have all smoked together and ate some food.
And told the story.
One of my friends used to deliver for a pizza place. And anytime he smelled it in the house, he would always just make some sort of mention. And he would say about 5 out of 10 times would get invited in.
Oh, there was times when
that's great.
Me and Dennys would live together, and the driver would knock at the door, and they would always say, "Hey, man, it smells real good in there.
Come on in."
Nobody ever wondered why we were
That
ordering.
would be a funny TikTok series.
Oh, yeah. See, how cool are...
You could pixelate his face so he doesn't get in trouble. But how many DoorDash, Uber Eats, delivery dudes, drivers will come in if they smell marijuana?
I told y'all about the one not that long ago. There was a guy that delivered the pizza. He's a KVJ Nationer. He came into my house, played video games with us, and there was some weed going on.
It's got to be a stranger, though, that doesn't recognize you.
Yeah.
It's got to be like just a rando.
What do you think about this? And what luck? An 18-year-old Maryland resident scratched off his first ever lottery ticket ever and won $50,000.
Shut up.
The slap in the face comes from his father, who has been an avid scratch-off player for his entire life and has never won anything.
Oh, his dad's so pissed.
His son, for his 18th birthday, bought a scratch-off ticket and won $50,000.
Dang. I love that.
That's great, sir. You passed down through the genes.
Now that kid's going to be chasing the dream for the rest of his life.
Well, so he's using the money to buy his first car.
Aw, good for him.
To go back to the weed story, we've got someone in the chat room, Mr. J. He says, as a delivery driver in the past, I've had people be so hospitable with their weed.
I find most times.
I'd like to hear. I'd like to hear from people who do delivery. What's the weirdest thing that they've gone to? Have you been invited in to a house to smoke weed?
What if you show up and it's like drugs and swinging?
So one of my friends was a delivery person, and a woman invited him in because it was hot out. And
do we need some music?
Saxophone. Get the saxophone.
They have slightly encouraged him in some sort of romantic way.
Oh my gosh.
Did they hook up?
He said he didn't hook up, but she was dropping intense signals.
Okay, so she was ugly.
I think she was good looking. I think the issue came where he thought maybe there could be somebody comes home and busts them. He thought it was a little too suspicious on how easily it was set up.
Kind of gives a whole new definition to Uber Eats.
Well, if you're not eating in, right? Rhymes with heinous. But yeah, I think it happens a lot to a lot of drivers. I'm sure people could call in and text them.
I'm fascinated.
I want to hear
totally fascinated by what goes on in people's houses. And these delivery drivers, they kind of have the goods.
We want to hear the stories. Now, our voice disguiser is broken, but if you want to call in and disguise your voice, just call in like this.
Yeah, or hold your nose.
Talk like this in a mouse voice.
Whatever voice you want. You want to hear your stories?
You have to decide your own voice.
Even if you text them in, we'll have Sweet Dennys read them in a very sexy manner.
Well, I had a friend who was a pool cleaner, and I mean, there's another profession that definitely gets people somehow. They try to encourage you to hook up with them.
Well, usually the pool boy is younger, hotter, and in good shape.
Yeah.
Okay, but I really want to know, though, with the pool boy situation or the pool person situation, how often does that really happen? Once in a lifetime?
I mean, I am sure it happens way more than once in a lifetime.
I agree.
I know a guy who was a pond guy. He was in charge of coming out to your place and making sure your lily pad was good. And so he showed up to clean this chick's pond. And it's a coug who starts hitting on him. And then he realizes it's a coug who was a playmate back in the day. And he's like, this is awesome. And then he realizes it's a coug who was a playmate back in the day that he tugged it to in the 70s.
And he got with her?
He did.
Oh, wow. Full circle.
Are we talking FG? Full gorilla?
I can't remember. I didn't ask him, like...
Here, text him real quick.
Text him if... text him.
He's actually a KVJ Nationer. He might be listening.
Call. We want all the calls. We want all the calls.
Disguise your own voice.
This segment's called...
Cleaning that pond.
We are doing the whacked out news.
Let's see here. Final story for you, and then we shall move on. But let's see. A monkey at the zoo to you in Paso Robles called 911 over the weekend.
Was he ordering delivery?
Well, so what happened was the police came out and were looking for it, and they were mad that they got a false call, but they realized that the monkey had climbed into one of the golf carts where they had a cell phone, and he just pressed buttons, and he called. They heard shuffling, they heard a couple noises, and thought somebody was being suffocated because it sounded like somebody choking.
That's amazing.
And they sent police out, and it turns out the guys nobody had any idea who called the police when it happened, and then they discovered on the camera that the monkey had climbed into their vehicle.
Monkey pranks.
A little monkey play.
Home run, Josh. Great job.
Didn't repeat a story. Didn't repeat a single story.
Got conversation going. I think we're all turned on.
You're right. Yes, more of this greatness to come after the works of Lizzo here.
It's the KVJ Show, and it's Romance Awareness Month.
It is, and people are confused. They go, so wait a minute. people dig the pond guy, and we got a comment in here that says, "My ex-girlfriend banged our pond guy as well. The witch ain't lying. Women dig pond people." That was Ryan who sent that in there.
The pond/pool guy fantasy is real.
Yeah, we are getting some comments from people going, "Yeah, I deliver food, and the woman totally tried to seduce me." There's a couple of female drivers of guys being creepy.
It's not as sexy.
It's not.
I don't know. It loses something for me.
If it's the female driver and now the guy, like he opens the door and he's got a towel on. I brought my pizza with pepperoni.
I mean, he better be a 10 if he's pulling that move.
But we're getting a lot. There's a lot of people. So this clearly happens.
Clearly.
Where delivery people they're trying to be seduced.
I got a friend that just texted me and said, okay, this is a sexy story.
Dennys, I think we need something.
I mean,
give me the music.
Are we talking?
That's exactly what we're talking about.
Okay, so the guy is a firefighter, but he also owns a pool service company. He hires all of his firefighter co-workers to go out and clean the pools for added work on their days off. I'm biting my knuckles. Ah!
Someone just texted this in. I delivered Publix to somebody and left getting laid.
Wow.
That's
Shopping is a
Instacart.
pleasure.
That
Instacart.
Instacart.
I do. You can always tell who's shopping for Instacart in the stores.
Yes.
Because it's younger people and they've got a phone and they're very confused. Like, they're not like me, an old seasoned battle axe when it comes to the grocery store.
Me too.
They don't know where they are. They're like, where are the eggs? I'm like, really? The eggs? They're always in the same spot.
In every Publix ever.
You can tell they're younger. These Instacart people, I can totally see them getting proposition.
We're
Absolutely.
getting a comment from somebody who's a UPS driver who said he's had sex with 3 different women. No, I don't know.
And he's only been working 3 weeks.
Some of these people could just be writing, romance sleaze over here, Dennys, just to try to turn us on, and it's working.
I'm here for it.
Okay, my friend just sent a follow-up. He had to fire some of the pool guys with the pool service because they kept sleeping with the wives.
That ain't cool. No, we ain't trying to make more fires here. Jeez. Wives are off limits.
She's in a loveless marriage, though, Jay Bird.
She's in a loveless marriage to get that big old pool, Dennys.
I mean, it's hard to resist.
Pool, pond, whatever.
She can't help it. Her bathing suit just fell off.
I mean, we're getting too many stories to even keep up.
I mean, the fact that they're all real is just great. Keep them coming.
But I do think some people are starting to write some over the top.
A little fictional fantasy stuff
that are not true.
Just lie to us. We don't know the difference.
A mechanic situation.
What?
Going in there to get her car done and something else. She got
her rotors turned.
She got her alternator twisted.
Oh,
I don't know any car terms. I don't know.
I mean,
car.
pretty hot, right?
I heard nothing about cars.
That carburetor.
Interesting.
Well, very cool. Keep them coming. You can send them to us.
I did like Virginia. I like when Virginia reads a sexy text message because then she goes down to the key of what she thinks is sexy.
I can't help it. I'm just dripping with heat.
The key of Gollum.
Dripping with heat. That's not a sexy statement.
Soak it in. I know you're half at attention. It's the KVJ Show. Kevin is out today. He's going up to Chicago to do some business stuff that sounds really boring. So we stayed here to talk about sleeping with the pool guy.
Or the pond guy. They get a lot of pond comments.
I'm surprised at the amount of pond comments.
My pond friend that I met him a year ago out in Loxahatchee, and he was telling me all kind of pond stories. The ladies love a pond guy,
and it's complete strangers they're hooking up with. They have no idea if they're insane. They're just going straight up carnal ways.
Yeah, and here's the thing. He was telling me, if you have a pond that requires maintenance by a pond guy, you're rich. That's fancy. That's not regular money stuff.
Agreed.
A pond and a pond guy is the next level. And so these rich women come out there and they look good, they smell good, and yeah, they're a coog. They're a little bit older, but damn, she's keeping it together.
I mean, you kind of are turning me on a little bit.
You're the pond guy. You know, you're out there working. You're a blue collar man, and now this sweet smelling older woman's flashing her jewelry and her boobs.
Oh,
and
you're out there working. It's hot out there.
She brings you lemonade in a glass pitcher.
You're sweating. You're working hard.
She brings you a frozen towel.
A frozen towel.
Yes, she does. A lot of comments, too many to keep up with how many people are boning at the service jobs. So thank you guys for sending those in. I did have a question. Somebody I know, they started dating somebody. They started dating this dude, and they're wanting to know if this guy's a psychopath. Because at first he came off really, really cool and really nice, and it's about month 2.5, and he's starting to show his ass a little bit, if you know what I mean.
All right.
Most people come off really cool in the beginning, and it's only through time that you see their psychotic tendencies. And the ones that are really psychotic, they can hide it for months and months.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's a stat here, and tell me if you guys agree with this. This sounds kind of insane to me. It says research suggests that 1% of the population in the U.S. meets the criteria of people being a psychopath. That would mean roughly 1 out of 100 people. 1 out of every 100 is considered a psychopath. Now, keep in mind, you don't have to be a murderer to be a psychopath.
There's a lot of degrees.
There's levels of that. But does that number sound right to you? 1 out of every 100, somebody is to the point where, holy crud balls.
I think it's low.
You think it's low?
I think we have more crazies than 1 out of every 100.
Because that's a lot. I think 1 in 100 is a lot.
1 out of 100 is a lot. And
have you ever been to Walmart?
But they're talking full-on psychopath. and that's always the question. Let's say you check 3 of the 10 boxes of being a psychopath, because there is a list. Are you considered a psychopath then? Is it 9 out of 10 traits?
Got you.
When do you become the psychopath?
If you assume psychopaths are always around you, you'll keep your guard up, and I think you protect yourself better.
Oh, yeah.
I want to think in my head there's a bunch of them, and I'm always looking and watching, and I don't have my head in my phone when I'm walking through a parking lot.
Yeah, they have 9 that are listed here. Now, I think if you have 1 or 2 in your personality, you're not a psychopath. You might get some issues. They say behavior that conflicts with social norms. But if you don't know what social norms are, how are you going to know? See what I'm saying? If you're a psychopath, do you even know what that feels like?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, you're right. You wouldn't even know that you're doing something outside of the societal norms.
Number 2, disregarding or violating the rights of others. Yeah, you're a psychopath if you continue to do that.
Totally.
The inability to distinguish between right and wrong. Right there alone, see, that's the one, in my opinion, that would make you a psychopath. If you don't know right and wrong as an adult.
And I think some people don't. I've seen people that don't, or they get it mixed up, or they think their feelings make it right,
or whatever's best for them is
right.
That's where you tend to hover into the sociopath.
Their selfish feelings don't necessarily make them right, but they think it does.
Because you're right, the psychopath and the sociopath are different. There's a difference between the two. One's able to keep it together more. I think it's the psychopath. They can almost detach from the people that study the brain will let me know if I'm wrong. But one you're able to detach from, and then the other one is where you can't control your emotion.
It's aggressive.
You lash out, even though you don't want to. You still lash. Like Ted Bundy, I feel like could keep his crazy under wraps. And then
just have one of those werewolf moments.
When he's got you alone and subdued.
And that's when he's able to
be himself.
Exactly. Turn into the monster, where some other serial killers, they will lash out. They'll show their emotion right away. They can't contain it. Scary stuff.
So somebody texted in the difference between the psychopath and the sociopath is the psychopaths will commit crimes, whereas the sociopath, I guess, will... So there's a stat I read that said anyone who becomes and there's always exceptions to the rule, but a majority of people who become successful in their fields tend to have sociopathic tendencies, and that's what led them to being so successful, because you technically are disregarding a population, all your employees, especially like and I don't know anything about Bezos, but in his position, he's got a ton of employees that are, I see on Reddit and stuff, are saying they don't get treated as fair, and then you see that he's going into space, But how did he get to that position? It's because he felt that his desires, what he wanted, was more important than everything else.
His
Not that
money grab.
And like I said, I don't know anything about him. I don't know anything about what he does to his employees. But I'm just saying that's a type of situation where I'd say a sociopath, you would have to be in order to achieve that level of success.
I don't disagree with you. I think there's probably a bunch of sociopathic billionaires.
We were talking about Kanye West earlier. I mean, you could arguably put that guy. I don't think I don't know much about Kanye's personal life. I don't know if he gets violent and stuff, but you could technically put him in a sociopathic category, because I feel like Kanye does what Kanye wants no matter what. And then you see the results he gets, and he gets positive reinforcement from that.
Right.
Thus, he's going to continue doing it.
They say the same thing about world-class athletes. You have to be somewhat of a psycho to get to that level, to just train and be the best. And you have to sometimes put off a lot of things in your personal life to get to that goal.
I think if you want to get to that level of success, they tend to go a little more hand in hand with each other. Otherwise, you just are just that good that you can achieve all.
Some people say Michael Jordan was a psychopath because he just the level he'd go to win is not in the norm of regular. Most people won't. He had everything going for himself. He's a great athlete, but you also need more than that sometimes. You need more in that furnace to be the best at anything.
But he's a perfect storm of talent and headspace.
Big time.
Once you can put those two together, look at him. You're literally unstoppable.
Yeah.
And then you get the money involved, and that's when you start hunting humans. You have too much power, Dennys.
Look,
rich person pastime.
I think that Squid Game is real, and I'll leave it at that.
Well, I feel so whenever something comes out and it's at this level, say they come out with a game show where everybody yells at each other. From now on, it has to be at that level for the next season.
Right.
And for the next year of shows. Eventually, we're going to get to a Running Man position where I think there will be some Squid Games. Unfortunately, and people are going to willingly sign up for it.
It already goes on, and you don't know about it because you're not in that world.
You're right.
And the people that lose Squid Game die, so they don't tell the story of Squid Game.
You go over to your rich friend's house. We're going to play some poker, Dennys. Let me see your hand. The currency is your fingers.
You actually have to lose your hand.
Yeah.
If you lose your hand.
That's how they always try to make the really, really rich people. They're so sick. It's so twisted.
So bored.
Look, dude, when you have that much money, and I've seen it, it can make you go psychotic. My friend introduced me to somebody that went through this over on Palm Beach Island 20 years ago when we were very new to this town. This man had all the money in the world, so he did all the drugs, abused all the people, and then went psycho and had to be checked into a mental institution.
Well, think about somebody who doesn't have a spiritual connection to anything. Now, this is not a religious statement, but I think even people who don't believe in anything, you still can have a spiritual love or connection to your fellow human, to Earth.
Absolutely.
All that stuff. Imagine if you don't have that. You just don't have that gene, and you really think, oh, when I die, this is it. I'm just going to get mine, and you're a little off.
And genetically, you were just given that.
Yeah.
And you're smart,
and you can't help it.
You have money, you're smart, and you're not spiritually connected to things. That might breed a monster. A monster.
I think we've got him.
We cracked the code.
We cracked the code. We just retired from radio.
Bam, done.
All right. Time for commercials then.
It's the KVJ Show. We are in here. Down a man. Kevin is in Chicago. He should be on his plane by now, right?
Down a man, but has the spirit of 10. He should be on his plane, but I'm saying that knowing none of his information.
I don't have his flight number.
Kind of going along with what you said.
Well, he said he was flying out this morning, so he is probably on his way to Chicago. He's making a presentation to all like the big wigs at our company. So that happens today. So say a little prayer for Kevin that he does good, and maybe we'll finally start making some money in this business.
Let me say a prayer. I'm an atheist.
He'll crush
You
it.
can pray to Satan.
No, you will get that email, though. I don't pray. I believe in the devil.
Okay, well, you know what? Put in a good word with the devil for us, too. He likes his act.
Pray to Lucifer, whatever. We need all the good vibes we can get. I don't care who you're praying to. Yes, but he will be back on Monday.
Yes, he is gone for a couple of days. Today is the big day, and then the rest of it, he's at a DJ conference, probably drinking too much and hanging out with DJs.
My dad wanted to watch Kevin's presentation.
We all wanted to watch it. We were asking him yesterday if he can record it so we can see it. We'd love video, but if all we can get is audio, we'll take that.
Yeah, that's not going to do well.
I just want to hear it.
That'll be more for you. Would people want to hear an hour of audio?
I think so. Because it's Kevin talking about us, and we're not there, and it's just fascinating to see his take on stuff. And then hear the room. It's a question and answer session from the corporate heads of this company. Okay, I want to hear what these suits are asking.
What if he played the audio, then all of a sudden you hear in the background, "Get off the stage, numbnuts!" And it's our boss.
I would cry.
Yeah.
It's like, dang, y'all called Kevin numbnuts?
Would be
so intense.
Well, the last time we did a big presentation, it was with our old company, the one in Miami. And that where we got fired, and we sent them the wrong audio. So we had to sit there as they're playing this long, drawn out part 2 of a segment.
That was hard to hear.
It was
because
bad.
they were playing it through speakers in a conference room that was like a ballroom.
It was so. Dennys wasn't on the show.
Good for Dennys.
At that point, you were starting to get on there as an associate producer.
You were lucky. You didn't get this stank on you.
But you didn't go up there, and I remember they started playing our audio in front of everybody. Like, oh, here's the KVJ show. This is their segment. And Virginia's right. The audio didn't work. It was only
didn't sound good.
It was a part 2 of something, and then this guy we never even knew turns around and looks at us and goes, "Don't you guys just want to run and crawl in a hole right now? Isn't this embarrassing?" I'm like, dude, first of all, you're a jerk.
Second of all, yes, dig a hole.
Please.
Quit talking and start digging.
So we're hoping it goes better today.
It can't go worse.
It really can't.
So put all your prayers into Jesus, Satan, all of it.
It's going to go better because we're not there. All right, sweet Dennys, I think it's time for a little...
You going to close this thing down with a little moment of positivity for the good people?
Oh, yeah.
Oh. Is it a sex positive moment?
Well, it's Romance Awareness Month.
Well.
You should be kissed, and often, and by somebody who knows how to do it.
Ooh. Oh.
Ow.
I love it.
Podcast.
Stay tuned. Podcast coming up here shortly on the KVJ Show.
The KVJ Show on 97.9 WRMF.